It's time for you to grow up, join the real world, and finally get a job. Did you think that you were going to be able to just use your parents' money for the rest of your life? Well, I'm not going to stand by and do nothing while you freeload your way through life. It's pathetic.
Wait, what is this all about me getting a job? I do work. I don't really know what you're talking about.
Is that supposed to be some kind of joke or something? I know that all you do is spend your time going out to things like concerts all the time. I've heard all about it from Mom. She told me all about how you've been traveling to all of the country just to go and see some of these shows, and all on Mom and Dad's dime, huh? You must really have no shame.
I do go to a lot of concerts, yes, but it isn't Mom and Dad who are paying for them. Besides, I do have a job and I'm allowed to spend my money however I'd like. I don't know why you think you have a right to tell me what I should or shouldn't be doing with my money.
Do you ever get tired of lying right through your teeth like that? I know for a fact that you're home basically all day just goofing off and being a bum. You quit your job and ever since then, you've been at home and refused to take any responsibility. Can you please just stop with all of these lies already?
Why won't you listen to me? What would I have to gain from lying to you?
I don't need to listen to you, because I hear all about what you're really doing from Mom and Dad. They are getting fed up with having you around the house at all hours of the day, never giving them any kind of break from you. I even heard them say that they want you to find a job right away.
Did Mom really say that about me? She said that I need to find a job?
That's right. She's sick of having you leech off her and not contribute anything. And I'm shocked that you could even do something like that. I thought you had more pride and be a total bum all day. But instead, you just force our parents to pay for whatever it is, whatever concert you want to go to, without care in the world. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Carrie.
Wait, Elena. I really think that there has to be some kind of mistake here.
There's no mistake, and I'm sick and tired of your excuses. If you have all of this time to make reason why can't you work, then you should be out there looking for a job instead, or at least be out there looking for a rich man who can give you what you've been taking from Mom and Dad.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
It means that I'm your younger sister, in my 20s, and even I'm married, but you're well into your 30s and are basically an old maid at this point. You don't want to wait too long for these things, or else you might miss your chance for the right marriage.
Well, first of all, I don't really even want to be married. So I don't feel any pressure of a ticking clock or anything like that.
Yeah, that sounds like something someone who isn't able to find anyone to marry them would say. You can't just be honest with me and say that you really want to get married. I don't know why you have to be trying so hard pretending to be this person that you're really not. Maybe if you just stopped all the lying and tried to be more genuine with people, you wouldn't be such a loser.
Excuse me? And just how am I a loser, huh?
I'm not going to retype everything that I just said, but suffice it to say that I can't just sit back and watch you act like this anymore. I can't sit back and watch you do this to Mom and Dad anymore. You need to either get a job or get married. I don't care which, but I'm not going to let this go on without saying anything anymore.
Hey, Mom, if you have a problem with living with me, I really wish that you would just come out and say it to me. I don't want to hear this kind of stuff because you were grumbling about it to Elena.
Grumbling? Carrie, what on earth are you talking about? I have no idea what this could be about.
I've already heard it all from Elena, Mom. She told me about how you complain to her about living with me every day, and that you feel like I'm not giving you any room.
Oh my gosh, did Elena really go and tell you all of those things? What is she thinking coming to you with those kinds of complaints?
She was worried for you and Dad, and that's why she told me all of what you were saying. But from the way she made it sound, you're already really sick and tired of having to live with me.
Now look, Carrie, we're family, and I think we all reserve some right to grumble about each other to other family. Besides, I don't think that I did anything by expressing some frustrations to Elena when she doesn't even want to live with us.
Well, I don't get why you were making those complaints to her in the first place. I mean, the whole reason that I'm home so often is because I work from home, and the reason I do that is because you insisted on me finding a job to allow me to do so. You're the reason that I'm home all the time, don't you get that?
Oh, please. You make it sound like as if I forced you to do all of that. I didn't do anything of the sort. You could have just said no if you wanted to.
Are you kidding me? You literally threatened me if I didn't. It all started 2 years ago when you fell and broke your leg. I didn't mind letting you and Dad move in with me then, but then you started to talk about how dangerous it was for older people to be left at home alone. That's when you started insisting that I could find a job that I could do from home. You told me that if I didn't do that, then the next time you or Dad got hurt, it would be all my fault.
I don't really remember saying any of that to you, though. I'm pretty sure that you were the one who was worried and that you changed jobs all on your own volition.
Are you kidding me with that? That's ridiculous.
Now, don't get me wrong, Carrie. I'm very grateful that you made that decision for us, but still, how can we not feel a little trapped when you're home all day long? And when you work, we feel that we aren't allowed to make any kind of noise until you're done. I mean, we can't even watch TV in our own home anymore because we're worried it would distract you from your work.
Well, that's why I give you and Dad $1,000 a month. You both are more than welcome to take that money and use it to enjoy yourselves outside of the house. After all, you're the one that told me that your retirement money wasn't going to be enough for the two of you to live off of. But if you're not even spending your money on anything, then why am I still giving you money every month?
Well, your father and I would go out more often, but we just feel like it's still not enough to cover all of the expenses. If you really wanted us out of that house badly, I think you would be able to pay us a bit more, don't you think?
If you're already so eager to get out and do things, can I take that to mean that your knees are feeling much better then? Because quite frankly, I'm sick of feeling like I'm the one who's in the way, when I only even started to work from home at your request.
Well, fine then. If it's really that bad, then why not just look for a whole new job, huh? But if you do that, just make sure to give your father and I some more money every month. $1,000 simply isn't going to do it. I think we need at least $1,500.
Are you kidding me? The whole reason that I'm encouraging you two to go out more is because you keep complaining about me working at home. If I'm not working at home, then I'm not paying for you two to go out either. It's one or the other, but you can't have it both ways.
Well, that just won't do. Your father and I have plenty of things that we would like to go out and do. Especially your dad. He's gotten into all kinds of new hobbies thanks to you, and those hobbies cost money. You started all of this, so you follow through with it.
I really can't believe that you're treating me like this.
Just hurry up and find a new job already. One where you'll be able to pay us more than just $1,000. Don't you want your dad to keep enjoying himself in his old age? Anyways, I'm still not back home yet, so I want something warm for dinner waiting on the table for me when the time I get back home. Hey sis, I just wanted to let you know that I heard the good news. I heard all about how you finally decided to get off your lazy butt and found yourself a job. Not only that, I heard you're already on a business trip and overseas too.
How many times am I going to have to tell you that I was never the jobless shut-in that you thought I was? But yes, if you must know, I am away on a business trip right now. I'm in Australia right now, but since it's in the southern hemisphere, it's still winter here.
Well, you mean they sent you all the way to Australia? And Mom and Dad really bought that story?
What do you mean they bought that story? What story are you talking about?
I mean, that you might have been able to fool those two with such a simple lie, but I see right through it. There is no way that you just start working for somewhere and they're already sending you around the world.
I don't know what you're talking about at all, Elena. I'm literally away on a business trip in Australia right now. There's no lie or trick or anything like that.
Why do you insist on keeping up this game after you've been already caught? You're probably not even in Australia, are you? You're probably just away at some other concert right now. You're lying about this business trip just so that you can go on a trip of your own. You probably haven't even started looking for a job yet, have you? Because even if you did have a job, I can't imagine anyone ever trust you enough to send you across the world like that. That's how I know this whole thing is just a lie. None of this is adding up.
I really don't even know what to say to you anymore, Elena.
Well, I'm just as shocked to think that you're so against working that you would lie to your own family like this, all while spending our parents' money on whatever you want. You are really the lowest of the low.
For the last time, I am not jobless. I literally have a job. I'm employed and you are just making all the wrong assumptions about me based on what Mom has been telling you. I just wish that you would listen to me for once.
And why would I waste any time listening to you when I know you're not going to tell me the truth? You don't even deserve to live with our parents if you're going to treat them like this. I never want you coming back home again. I've already thrown out all of your things, so you don't have a place to come back even if you did.
Wait, what do you mean you've thrown all my stuff away?
Well, you weren't looking for a job or a man, and it's clear you weren't going to change your ways anytime soon. So I knew the only option I had left was to force you out of the house by any means necessary.
And that's why you had to throw away all my belongings?
That's right, and once I did, it was like the whole house breathed a sigh of relief to be finally rid of you. You should see Mom and Dad. It was like they just de-aged by 10 years after realizing they would never have to deal with you again.
Please tell me this is some kind of joke.
It's no joke at all. And after I got rid of all of your stuff, they asked me if my husband and I wouldn't mind moving in with them. Everyone is so happy that you're gone. You would think it was someone's birthday or something. Mom said that she was so happy that we're going to be moving in because it means she might eventually be living with her grandchild.
So Mom and Dad are really that happy that I'll be moving out? And they have no problem with you throwing away all of my stuff either?
I really don't get why you're talking as if you're some kind of victim here. You were always the bad guy, never working, and always making Mom and Dad pay for everything. Can you blame us for never ever wanting to see you again? That's why I had to throw away all of your things, to prevent you from ever even thinking about coming back home.
And you're really sure that it's all over? Thank you so much.
Thank you? What do you mean? You're not supposed to be thanking me for this.
But I'll never have to go back home again thanks to you. You have no idea how huge of a favor you've just done me. I don't have to live with Mom and Dad anymore. This must be what it's like to be released from prison after being locked up for so long. Oh, I really just can't thank you enough for this, Elena.
Hold on a second. What's going on here? Did you hit your head or something? I just kicked you out of your own home and you're happy about it? This doesn't make any sense.
Don't worry, I'm feeling just fine, actually. But I was thinking for such a long time of how I could move out of the house without causing too many problems. But you've gone and solved all of that for me. It's just incredible.
But you're supposed to be some antisocial shut-in. Why are you so happy to be kicked out of the house? You don't have a man or a job or anything.
Elena, I've told you 1,000,000 times already, I do have a job. And I've contributed more than my fair share into expenses for the house. In fact, I was even giving Mom and Dad $1,000 a month to spend on whatever they wanted.
Wait, you were helping them pay for things around the house and you gave them an allowance?
Well, you know how Mom is always complaining about me hanging around the house so much, right? I actually agreed to pay them some money every month so that they could try and find things to do outside of the house while I worked.
So, then you've been just working from home this whole time?
That's right. You remember a few years ago when Mom fell and broke one of her legs, right? Well, after that, she insisted that I find a job I can do from home so that I could take care of her. So I quit my job and found one that would let me do all of my work from home. It wasn't something I wanted to do, but I did it for Mom.
Are you serious about all this? I really had no idea at all.
Well, it's true, but I hate working from home and it leaves me feeling more drained than when I used to go into an office for work. Not only that, but I feel like I'm on double duty at home because of having to deal with our parents. Plus, Mom just came to me recently asking me to up the money I was giving her from $1,000 to $1,500 a month. I knew then that I'd have to find a way to get out of living with them.
Mom wanted $1,500 a month just to go out and find things to do during the day?
Pretty much, although I understand that she just uses all the money to take bi-weekly trips to a spa resort instead.
Why am I just learning about all of this now?
Elena, I really can't thank you enough for freeing me from that life. I was busy looking for a new job and even a new place. I reached out to my current job asking if they had any options for me, and they said they were looking for someone to go on a business trip. I had to move to a new department within the company, but if it meant getting out of the house for a while, I couldn't turn it down. But now, thanks to you, I don't even have to worry about going back home ever again now.
Wait, hold on, I'm still so confused. So you're telling me the truth about all of this? Even giving Mom and Dad an allowance? I won't have to pay them anything like that though, will I?
That really isn't any of my business, sis. You're gonna have to talk that one out with Mom and Dad. But I know that they've been using that money to get into some new hobbies that are apparently quite expensive. And they won't be content to just live off their retirement money either. So I can't imagine they would be very happy if all their fun money just dried up overnight. Although, now that I'm kicked out of the house, I don't have to worry about that anymore. That's your problem to deal with now.
Carrie, you have got some explaining to do, young lady. Did you hear about how your sister got laid off? Your father and I just heard the news about Elena and her husband now.
Wait a second, both Carrie and her husband were laid off at the same time?
Well, you did know that they worked at the same place, didn't you? And unfortunately, their company had to make some staff cuts and neither of them made it.
Wow, well, it sounds like things are a real mess over there then.
I thought something might have been up when she asked if they could move in with your father and I. But we have no idea it was because the two of them had lost their jobs.
Okay, Mom, just settle down for a second. It's not either their fault that they lost their jobs in some corporate downsizing. But I'm sure they'll be able to find new jobs right away.
I certainly hope so. But either way, it takes time to find new jobs. And until they do, and are making money again, you're going to have to keep helping us pay our bills. Not to mention the money your dad and I continue with all of our new hobbies. I just don't understand how could this happen. How are we supposed to pay all of our debts at this rate?
Wait, your debts? What do you mean by that, Mom?
Well, I told you that your dad and I had picked up some new hobbies that cost money, didn't I? One of those new hobbies just happened to be playing poker at a casino.
You've been using the money I've been giving you to gamble?
Well, at first it was just a little bit of money, but before we knew it, we'd lost all track of time. We weren't going on trips or anything, just spending all of our money at the poker table. We just thought if we had one big break, we could win everything we'd lost back.
I can't believe you two!
Well, blame your father. He's the real one with the issue. He just doesn't know when to stop. He keeps going to the ATM, says that he doesn't have any more money left in the bank.
And so now you two are in debt because of this. Just how much money do you owe?
It's sitting at something like $5,000 or so. But we were using that money that you gave us to help pay that down. So that's why you can't just stop giving us money, because you're not living here anymore. Especially now that I know Elena and her husband are unemployed.
Well, it sounds to me like you two haven't done a very good job of paying that down at all.
Carrie, please. You need to do this for your family. We're begging you here. We know that you have a job, and we won't ask for too much. Forget the $1,500, but at least keep sending us the $1,000.
You've got a lot of nerve asking me for money after helping Elena throw me out of the house. I don't think I owe you anything after that.
You little brat! What kind of way is that to respond finding out that your parents are in financial trouble? What happened to the sweet daughter who changed jobs just to take care of us?
I'm afraid that girl is long gone, Mom. You and Dad only have yourselves to blame for getting rid of her.
Just what is that supposed to mean?
It means that if you want money, you're gonna have to start working again and earning for yourselves. I don't want anything to do with this anymore.
I can't believe you, Carrie. You're the worst. And I can't stand living with Mom anymore. She is driving me crazy.
Oh, Elena, what's the matter? I thought that you were looking forward to finally living with our parents again.
Don't you pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. Did you know all about the debt they have?
I actually just learned about it recently. I had no idea about it while you were throwing me out, but afterwards Mom told me about it.
Well, I also just found out about those two spending all their time at the casino gambling their money away. Apparently they're already $10,000 in the hole.
Oh, really? Wow, that's twice the amount that Mom said the debt was.
She told me the same number you did, but I did some investigating in their accounts and found out they really owe $10,000. Can you believe that? How could they be so irresponsible?
I really do have to agree with you on that one, Elena.
And now Mom won't get off my back about finding a new job. She's coming into my room every day, asking if anyone has called back for an interview yet. And she keeps spamming with me with links to various job listings, and she isn't giving me any privacy at all.
Okay, Elena, let's just take a breath here. I mean, Mom and Dad have always been like this. You know that. Isn't that the reason why you got married and moved out as quickly as you did?
Well, yeah, but I guess I thought they would have chilled out after all this time.
I'm afraid that I can tell you from first-hand experience that they have not.
But none of this is my fault anyways. It's not like I was fired. I was let go because my company had to downsize. We barely have any savings of our own as things are now. That's why when I thought you were just goofing at home without working, I figured that it was my turn to live off of Mom and Dad for a while. And after I go through all of the work to get you out, I found out that Mom and Dad are actually swimming in debt.
I'm sorry, but it sounds to me like I'm not the one you should be mad at. Mom took me for granted and spread lies about me to you, and look where it got you both.
Well, that's not my fault. Mom was lying to me, so I can't be responsible for my actions. And now that Mom knows I don't have a job anymore, she's just a jerk. And on top of that, she won't stop asking me for money or making me clean up around the house. Plus, we barely have enough money to feed all of us, so there are some nights where I'm going to bed without dinner just to make sure Mom and Dad are fed.
I'm afraid that I had to do the exact same thing you did. I had to be smart about how to budget my money for all of us. And there were times where I had to skip meals for their sakes as well.
But I think Mom is doing it to punish me sometimes. Even when I know we have food, she won't let me have any unless I had gone for at least 3 job interviews that day. How am I supposed to keep going on like this?
Sounds to me like you'll just have to grit your teeth and get through it. But don't worry, I'm sure that even if you do everything you can to take care of her, in the end, she'll still complain about you to whoever'll lend an ear.
But that's just what happened to you.
You know, the more I hear someone else describe exactly what I went through, the more grateful I am that I'm leaving. So again, thank you so much for everything, Elena.
If you're really thankful, then the least you can do is give me some money. We're seriously just on the edge here. And I don't know how much more of Mom I can take. Please, I'm so sorry for everything, but you have to help us.
Not gonna happen. Good luck with all that. I heard that Elena tried to stick it out with my parents for a bit longer before her and her husband got fed up and left. And although they hadn't found full-time jobs, they both started working several part-time jobs to afford a small apartment for them both. Without either of their children to live off of, my mom flew into a bit of a panic and begged for either of us to come back. When I got those messages, I simply blocked my mom and everything and eventually got a new phone number.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
I cannot believe this. Making a brand new house for all of us to live in without talking to me? If you go through with finishing that place, we are most definitely not going to move in with you.
Huh?
You really are an airheaded mother-in-law. No matter how many times your daughter-in-law tells you she won't live with you guys, you still manage to go ahead and make a house for everyone. If having that house ready for all of us to move in is your battle plan, then it's not going to make me be defeated.
Maddie, I'm a little concerned by what you might be confused by. This larger house wasn't built with you guys in mind, you know.
Huh?
We've decided to live together with my second oldest son and his wife. And so that's why he had our house remade into a much larger and spacious home. It wasn't that our previous house couldn't be lived in by all of us, but we all decided that we want a house large enough for us to all have a bit of privacy. And so we did our best to build a brand new and amazing house.
What? So you plan to just overlook your oldest son and his wife and live together with your second oldest instead?
Overlook you guys? I'm pretty sure that you did say that you never wanted to live together with us, right? So I don't understand why you were complaining even more over this choice.
I understand that, but
And to be honest, I don't really want to have you living together with us either. And now that you guys don't have to live here, you both can relax a little knowing you won't have to care for us.
excuse me?
I'm sorry, but you never seemed to really like me. And during the holidays, you and my son never came home to celebrate with us. Yet you both had the courage to ask us to give your kid $1,000 in money for Christmas. I really am sorry, but I cannot see myself ever wanting to live with either of you.
Well, I'm sorry for you, Beth, that you think your oldest son and his wife have to come back to your place for the holidays every year, because we sure don't have to. But you must understand that we have a daughter now who is your grandchild. And as the grandparents, it's your guys' job to spoil her and make her as happy as she can be.
And that's the whole reason we come over there frequently to play with her. We never get to see you guys when the rest of the family is here, so we make up for that by coming your guys' way. But you only ever give us about 10 minutes within your house before you both kick us out. So how are we supposed to make her happy if you never let us near her for long enough? Your father-in-law and I are at our limits with the way you two have acted and treated us.
Huh? Why are you starting to get all mouthy towards me? This is one of the reasons why I hate you as my mother-in-law. Ugh, I feel so bad for your second oldest wife, Margaret. The fact that she has to start living with a woman that will bully her every day.
Say whatever pleases you, Maddie. But just be aware that us building this new house is not for you two, so you can both calm down now. Now, goodbye.
Beth, if I begin to live with you, does that mean you are going to start picking on me and making me feel bad? Are you really planning on doing to me what you've done to Maddie?
Huh? I would never do something like that to you, Margaret. And what do you mean I've been picking on Maddie?
Well, she just spoke to me a little bit ago. And that's when she sent me a huge 5-gigabyte file over the phone. And she told me in that file I'd find all I need to believe that you have been bullying her. She then told me to read and look at it all and then rethink coming to live with you guys.
A 5-gigabyte file, huh? She really ended up using that much of her data for no reason then?
I took a quick look at all of it, but I don't really think what all she's saying is true. But yet again, there are things in there that do concern me a bit, so I have to ask. Do you plan on picking on me the way you do with her?
I'm telling you that I have no reason to do that to you. Why would I ever want to pick on you or do anything mean when we finally come this close to living together?
That's what I thought. And when I think of you, all I can think of are really good things. And is it true that Maddie really is that strange of a woman, then? I just wonder because it seems she really has it out for you. Did something happen in the past to make her that upset?
When it comes to that, it's really nothing. I think that she just has a fight to pick with me for just being her mother-in-law.
Huh? So for no reason, she just hates you?
Well, you've heard on the news and such before that things like this happen all the time between mothers and their daughters-in-law. And I think in her mind she believes that I'll be the same way to her, hence why she's so aggressive towards me. She thinks that all mother-in-laws are out to get her. But I suppose she is the wife to my oldest son. He probably allows all this to happen without ever stopping her from thinking such things.
Wow. And so you think that's the only reason she's that upset with you all the time?
Well, when I asked my son about it, he told me that a lot of her friends have had bad experiences with their mother-in-laws. And so I'm pretty sure that because of their experiences, she expects the same thing from me. I really do want to become close family with her, but no matter what I try and do, she never wants to see me as a friend. At first, she was nice to me and me to her, but then soon after, she began accusing me of bullying her.
Wow. That's all a total waste of being a happy family. I think that you're one of the kindest mother-in-laws a woman could ask for. I guess she really just wants to cause problems, though, huh?
Saying that I'm nice. After having to talk to Maddie, that makes me feel so happy inside. But you don't have to be so kind to me.
But I'm not trying to just make you happy. I was even a bit worried about what it'd be like having in-laws, but because of how kind you've been to me, I don't feel any anxiety when I'm around you at all.
Well, I'll do my best to continue making you feel comfortable in our family. I'm sure that when we start living together, there will be a little stress between us and all.
Well, that's what happens, right? But I ask that you don't worry about us too much while we're there and that you just relax. We'll all work really hard together to make living with one another as fun as possible. That house looks even more beautiful than I was imagining. All of the yard and everything is looking perfect as well. Could that all be because you have Margaret around to help? If she's the kind of girl that loves making the house look beautiful, her and I could become even closer to one another.
Maddie? You're complimenting our yard and house? Does that mean you've come over to see the new house?
I have, and I came all the way here on an airplane. I heard from Trevor that you guys had completed the house just yesterday.
And that's nice and all of you to come from so far to see us, but we haven't even begun to move into there just yet. And just coming over without mentioning anything to us is a bit rude. That place isn't the house we used to all live in, as it's now become the home of my second oldest and us.
No, actually, starting today, we plan to live here as well. And that shouldn't be a problem for you at all, right, Beth?
Excuse me? Does that mean that after all this time you finally want to live with us?
Seriously? This has nothing to do with me wanting to live together with some jerk of a mother-in-law. Starting today, the oldest brother and his wife will live together with his younger brother and wife. Both you and your husband can go ahead and rent a small apartment nearby.
Huh? And why exactly do my husband and I have to be the ones to leave the new house? We built that place specifically for us and my second oldest. What is wrong with you coming here unannounced and telling us to get out of there? I do not like that you're acting this sporadic.
I'm not being sporadic in any way, Beth. I'm just doing exactly as I want. Actually, don't you think my plan is pretty dang smart of me? The older and younger brothers living together under one roof with their wives. Doing it that way would mean that we can all support one another and bundle our earnings together.
What?
I made sure a while back to advise Margaret to rethink living together with her in-laws. But I'm not sure if she understood what I meant and said that she was totally fine living with you. She never wanted to live together with you guys, yet kept it a secret and tried her best to fake the want to.
And that's probably just what you want to believe? Her and I have talked about this at least a dozen times, and each time she's been so happy over the idea of living together.
Well, unfortunately for you, she was just trying to be nice to you since you're her mother-in-law. But she knows well enough that living with us both instead of you guys is far more stress-free and fun. Unlike an old bag, her and I are closer in age, so we won't have to worry about differences in the way we think. And I know that she will be much happier to live like that instead of having to worry about you.
But you still don't know that, right? Now, I've had enough talking, so hurry up and get out of that house. I'm telling you right now that I'm almost past my limit here.
Stop all of that, Beth. Don't be so upset that you'll no longer have a daughter-in-law to bully anymore.
Huh?
That's right. I was going to let you know about this sooner or later, but I still expect you to be the one to pay off the loan on the house for us. Understand that neither us or your second oldest and his wife will pay a dime for the place.
Excuse me? Not only are you saying that you'll steal that house, but you want me to pay for it all on my own?
But we're being kind by just letting you and your husband live nearby to your sons and their wives, right? And so, a way of saying thanks. You should pay that loan off for us. Now, if anything were to happen to either one of you, you can run over to us to take care of you.
Then let me ask this. If I were to be in trouble, would you guys actually try and help me? My husband and I have gotten a lot older, and so our legs are not as great as they used to be. We already have to go to the hospital at least once a month for checkups and such. Does this mean that you'd be willing to at least stop by once a month to take us in?
Huh? Why the hell would I ever do such meaningless crap? If you have such bothersome crap like that, then you're better off asking Margaret to take care of you. And if she says no to you, ask your second oldest. And if he says no, ask your oldest. And if we are all saying no, ask someone that lives close by to you. And if all of them say no to you, then maybe, just maybe, I'll be willing to come help you out.
So in other words, you won't do jack for us. Why do you keep beating around the bush so much about the truth, Maddie? I don't have any more patience with you, so hurry up and leave our house. I'm not going to give that house we worked so hard on to the both of you.
Why say all those awful things when I've already said that we're living here and that's final? If you think that you can continue to get away with picking on me, then I might just happen to divorce your son. Is that what you want from me?
Huh? You want to divorce him now?
With how far out in the countryside we live right now, me leaving him over this would be an embarrassment to your whole family. Especially after we already agreed that we'd be the ones living here with your second oldest and his wife. But after trying to be so nice about this, you've really hurt me with your words. I might just leave him now. Then that would mean you never even get to meet your granddaughter ever again.
So you think that's the best way to threaten us right now?
You're going to give this house to me and your oldest now, right? If you don't, I'll be divorcing your oh-so-important oldest son.
Right now, we're going to hand in the divorce forms.
Huh?
Thank goodness I was able to talk with Trevor so quickly. While I was talking with you on here, I decided to contact him about this. Apparently, he had no clue that you were trying to do such a thing with our house. He said he'd hurry up and handle everything for me now that he's aware you've gone off the deep end. But before that happens, the divorce forms will be handed in.
Huh? Why the hell would you guys hand that stuff in?
Because we have all had enough of your crap, Maddie. Even Trevor told me that he just can't deal with all your shenanigans anymore. He really told me that he never noticed how crazy you've been until now. He told me that he had already been preparing for the divorce as well.
What's so crazy about someone like me? I was the one that came up with that genius idea to take the house from you and live together here with your second oldest and his wife. If anything, I should be regarded as the intelligent one compared to all of you.
Someone that actually happens to be intelligent would never try to steal someone else's house from them. Just know that you have now gone and disrespected everyone in my family.
Huh? I have not disrespected anyone, including you. If anything, I've done my best to put up with you picking on me. Yet now you all act like Trevor and I need to be divorced?
I understand that you don't want to be bullied by your mother-in-law. When I married my husband, I had a lot of problems between his mom and I. But in your case, when you say you've tried your best, you've been wasting all your energy on nothing. Maybe it's time you settle down and realize that.
Huh? And how am I wasting my energy on trying to avoid your bullying? I wanted to make sure that I was far away from you so that I wouldn't have to be picked on anymore. And I'll continue to do that now. So expect to only see your grandbaby every couple of years now. I had done so well trying to let you live close to us and all.
Are you seriously saying that you did so well?
I am. If I let myself continue to be harassed by you, then I will have lost. That's why I'm not going to let a divorce happen after all the effort I've put in staying away from you. I'm betting that your second oldest and Margaret would be happy to live with me and Trevor. I was so generous for thinking a plan up to make sure that they didn't have to live with a daughter-in-law abuser. So why can't you just understand what I've put so much of my intelligence into? We're not happy at all about whatever plan you made. And actually, what about you is so amazing and smart? Huh? It's been a long time, Maddie. This would be Margaret. I've been sitting with Beth looking at all your guys' conversation, and things seem to have gotten pretty wild. Margaret? So, you've been with Beth this whole time, huh? Well, this is your chance right now. Tell her right now with all your heart that you've never wanted to live together with her. And let her know how much you've been wanting to live with us instead.
I want to live with Beth, though. Actually, if anything, living with you and Trevor would be absolutely impossible for me.
What?
As a wife to this family myself, I can understand the fears you have. But getting this out of hand over something that's never existed is a huge waste of what could have been a happy family with all of us. Which is crazy because Beth is such a nice person to us all.
What are you talking about, Margaret? Didn't you take a look at that file I sent you? That was supposed to help you understand how awful things would be with Beth. You know dang well that living with us would be a way better time than those two. We would be able to support one another equally, and I'd even be happy to help you when you're in need.
Can you explain to me how you'd help me? Please list off to me all the merits we'd have by living with you.
Huh? I shouldn't have to tell you all of that, right? You should already know. For example, when we both have kids of our own, we can leave them together with one of us as the other has some time to themselves. Also, we'd be able to put all our incomes together to afford even nicer things.
In other words, you guys would be asking us to take care of your kid while you both take time to relax. But I'm sorry to say that would only be a pain in the butt for my husband and I.
Huh?
You have said before to Beth that you both have a nice daughter that you'd want to be raised around the family, but we can tell that you guys do not do a good job raising that kid. When the kid doesn't have their way, they immediately start to get upset and cry. I have been able to meet your kid a few times, but every time we see her, she seems to get worse.
Huh? My little girl has nothing wrong with her. What's wrong with you?
Also, you said that we could all put our incomes together so that we could all afford nicer things, right? But are you actually being serious about that? I don't like it when people tell me they can do things that they obviously cannot do.
What does that mean?
Well, in your case, you're a housewife, right? As for my husband and I, we both work full-time and make a considerable amount of money per year. But in your family, it's only Trevor that works. And I've heard from him before that you guys are already living on a fine line between making it out each month with no debt and having to borrow money.
What was that?
I can expect that Trevor would be willing to work for and help us out in the case we did all live together. But when you don't have a job and barely attend to your own kids' needs, I'm not so sure. I even hear a lot of times from my husband that he asks for advice when dealing with you. I'm sorry, but I just don't see us being able to all fairly put in money to the house when you're not working and Trevor is barely making it by.
You have to be kidding, right?
So, how else could you possibly help us? Actually, it seems that you'd only want to live with us so that you could leech off our money and time. Right now, the two of us don't have kids and we are both working great jobs that we love. You must have just been thinking that by having us around, your life would be a whole lot easier, right? You saw that we would have a whole lot of merits for you, hence you wanting to live with us.
You're wrong, Margaret. Actually, I have been really worried about you. I've never once heard of a wife doing well for themselves after moving in with their in-laws.
I am thankful that you've been so worried about me, but it was all a waste. I have spoken with Beth at least a dozen times about us all living together under one roof. And she was able to give me proof that her and her husband would be able to put in just the same amount as we would into the house. We all saw that there would be more merit to living together, all four of us. And if there was ever any issues, we'd trust one another enough to be able to find a solution. And that's why we all decided to live together. But of course, when you choose to not trust anyone and have nothing to give to anyone, living under one roof with the in-laws would be impossible.
Even after all the work I put in to make sure we could live in that house together? Why are you being so harsh to me?
Listen to yourself.
Huh?
I'm so sorry, Maddie. But you are an absolute piece of stinky trash. Oh, I just remembered that you'll soon be a stranger to all of us. Now, you shouldn't be as surprised by me being harsh to you because you're nothing more than an extremely crazy stranger to this family.
I don't even care anymore. If you want to talk to me like that, then go screw yourself. But if you begin to regret what all you've said to me and not choosing to live with us, don't come crying to me about it. Actually, I hope that Beth does harass the hell out of you for this. Hey, why are you all doing this to me? I just talked with Trevor and he really was serious about divorcing me. And what's worse is he's planning on taking my girl from me. Why am I the one that has to end up in trouble?
No matter what you try and say to me, I don't care. And since you're no longer my son's wife, you're just some stranger. Goodbye now, and good luck.
Huh? Well, why are you being so straightforward with this? You're my dang mother-in-law, so hurry up and make up with me and then come help. He told me he's going to make sure he never has to see me again. So you go and tell Trevor that he needs to calm down and come back to me.
My son is very calm right now, and so I think this is him just saying he's over you.
If you go and change his mind right now, I'll make sure the two of us become friends again. I'll even have us all come over to see you during the holidays. So hurry up and do something about this.
You don't have to come see us anymore. I already have my second oldest son and his kind wife living with me, and I can see that from now on we'll be able to enjoy the holidays together every year. And by having you out of her life, I think your daughter will begin to behave a whole lot better. Right now, she may have a bit of a temper, but I'm sure that we still have enough time to raise her right.
Huh? So you're saying everything's fine the way it is right now? You don't see any importance in me as your son's wife?
You're not even his wife anymore, so I'm not sure what you're going on about. Now, goodbye forever. Today we'll be moving more of our stuff into this new house, so we don't have time to talk to you anymore. We were able to move into the new house without any problems, and are now all living together as one happy family. And Margaret is a great woman, just as I expected. And so not to make ourselves be a burden to her, my husband and I have started taking training classes to make sure we stay strong and healthy as long as possible. And with us all caring about one another's needs, things work so perfectly here. And as for Trevor, he ended up renting an apartment nearby to us. And now that he has full rights to his daughter, they both live there together. It seems she's recently become better behaved and now even comes to our house all by herself to play. We've heard that Maddie has been trying her best to meet with her daughter after the divorce, but her daughter keeps telling us she doesn't want to see her. And Trevor is the same way, no longer wanting to meet with Maddie after the divorce.
I feel so bad for your parents. Having to still care for their daughter even though she's well into being an adult now. At least start doing the chores or something there, Stacy.
Huh? You're saying all those things about me?
That's right. The high school dropout, stay-at-home loser should be the one to do the chores for them. You're old enough now where you definitely should not still be relying on your parents. I can't believe you're not embarrassed to live like you are now.
Calling me a high school dropout stay-at-home loser is pretty mean, Amanda. I get that I did in fact drop out, but I'm working a full-time job now, so I wouldn't be calling me a loser or anything like that.
I don't want to see you being treated by both your parents at their house any longer. You chose to live the life of a dropout, right? Yet all I hear are excuses and complaints that you can't find a good job because you have no education. Some people call the life you have getting what you asked for.
Amanda? For some reason I get the feeling that you may be confused by something. I never chose to drop out of school myself. My parents told me to stop going to high school, and so I had no other choice but to leave. But even with that happening to me, I've worked hard to find a job that suits me.
Stop lying to me like some kind of politician. I already know the real you after everything I've heard from your parents.
Huh?
They said that you hated to study and learn, so you chose to drop out on your own. And they followed up by telling me that you don't even work a full-time job, rather just some simple part-time job making barely anything. They even said that you jump jobs a lot, leaving you sitting at home between jobs as their little stay-at-home loser. You must really love being a parasite sucking on all that wealth that both your parents have, huh?
What are you talking about? You're saying that my parents said all of that about me?
They sure did. They are very worried about what'll happen to you after they've both passed away. And so they came to me crying to ask me what they should do about you. I never thought there were people in this world that were completely fine with making their parents suffer.
You have it all wrong, though, Amanda. Can you give me a chance to tell you my side of things?
I don't see any point in listening to some dropout speak to me. I hate low-life scum like you, Stacy. If you plan to keep living life without actually working for your own money, then I'm going to have to cut all ties I have with you.
What? I don't want my little brother and you to cut ties with me, though.
Well, I don't want my future to be ruined by you if you happen to start leeching off of me. If you don't want us to leave you, then it's time you go out and make a living yourself.
Hey, Mom! What have you made Amanda start thinking of me? Did you make her think that I was the one that chose to drop out of high school? And you made her think that I had no job and am some kind of a parasite? I can't believe you'd start telling so many lies to my sister-in-law for no good reason. Because I just got some nasty texts from Amanda about how upset she is with me. She told me to get a grip and to stop taking advantage of the two of you. But in reality, I'm working a great job, and if anything, I'm the one helping you both out the most. I'm the one that's literally supporting you and Dad right now, so what the hell is going on right now with all of you?
Oh, stop that. You don't have to be that upset with us. Your father and I both have to maintain an image ourselves, and so we had no other choice.
Huh?
You understand that we have to keep a good image as parents for others to see, right? And your little brother is married to a woman whose parents are both very high-class doctors. So your father and I would never tell her that our company had gone bankrupt a while back.
You really are such a vain person, Mom. You've always been trying to keep your reputation as the wife of some CEO even after his company fell apart. Most people already know that his company went bankrupt, yet you keep trying to hide it for some reason?
We are doing this for your brother as well, though. Having a wife that's family is full of amazing people while the husband's family is full of failures. If they were to find out about that, they would leave your brother in an instant. I'm hiding the truth from them for your brother's sake, as well as for our own.
I get what you're trying to say to me, but don't treat me like an idiot, okay? I know that you're just trying to maintain your guys' pride is all. It was your guys' fault, after all, that I had to drop out of high school, right? Yet somehow you thought it okay to say that it was all my own choice.
Are you trying to say it was our fault?
While the company was going under, you guys went and started to take all the money that was saved up for me to go to college. And because of that, there was no reason for me to continue on with school, especially when you both kept pulling me out of class to come home and help you both.
What are you talking about? That's just you saying that you gave up on staying in school. You still had the chance to do well in school and get a scholarship to go to college with.
And I would have tried my best to get a full-ride scholarship or something to a school of my choice. But you kept telling me that as a woman, I didn't need an education. You both told me that every day while asking me to leave school over and over again to come home and help you guys with that failing business. You would even get frustrated with me and start saying things like me valuing myself more than my own family. I had no choice but to drop out of school after constantly hearing that from the two of you.
Oh, we said things like that to you, did we? I don't remember saying anything like that, though.
In the end, I did as you both had asked of me and dropped out of high school. And then after Dad said I could work in his company to help it recover, he started paying me less than minimum wage. Really, I was better off finding a job of my own instead of wasting my time working for practically nothing.
Don't say such awful things like that, Stacy. We made sure that by having you work in the real world early, you'd become an even better employee than others your age. And besides, you were still living with us while working, so there was no need for you to get the same pay as others, as you didn't have to pay any living costs.
And that's why I saved whatever I could that I received and tried to get out of the house. Right when I was about to leave the house and find a job of my own to live on, you both fumbled the ball and let the company go under. Then you and Dad came running to me, crying and asking me to come home and help you guys out.
Well, that was a very tough time for all of us. We had tried our hardest to make things work in that company, but ended up still falling short in some places. And that all happened right when your brother was going to university. If it wasn't for you and the money you brought to us, we would have never been able to raise our boy well enough.
If you're trying to make it seem like you're thankful for me, why are you wrapping it in a bunch of bullcrap? You know that I've been the one supporting you and Dad ever since your company went bankrupt, so why can't you just be thankful for me and speak the truth?
Come on, Stacy. I want to say the truth, but we have to do this for your brother. We cannot allow your brother to look bad compared to his lovely wife, Amanda. If they knew that his parents weren't well off, they'd leave him in the dust. So please, be a good little girl and follow along in our lives to make your father and I look good.
What?
I'm thankful for you in the bottom of my heart. But when we are with Amanda, you are going to be that no-good high school dropout stay-at-home loser that we want her to believe you are. Stacy, I just made sure to put all of your things outside the house for you. Come here at some point today and get rid of all of it, okay? From now on, you're no longer going to be living here. Huh.
Wait, what? Why can't I live at my parents' house anymore?
Because I can't look at your poor parents any longer as they struggle to take care of you. And so, from now on, your brother and I are going to move in with your parents. So, we have to make sure that the high school dropout stay-at-home loser is out of this.
Excuse me?
I made sure to give you a warning a few weeks ago, right? I told you to get a grip and find a good job for yourself. And that you should stop causing your parents any more trouble than you already have. Yet you didn't listen to me at all, and have not found yourself any kind of proper work yet, just as I expected from a parasite. And so, we had to do something about you.
You're kidding me, right? So you've gone ahead and put all my things out in front of the house without asking first? Having to leave that house without any warning?
Your parents are so happy right now. Having the parasitic dropout out of their house has brought them all kinds of joy.
What?
And on top of that, their very successful son and his wife will be living together with them. I can't blame them for being so happy after finally having such a heavy weight lifted off their backs. Your brother works for a very good company, and I'm able to live perfectly as his housewife for the rest of my life.
You all really can only think about yourselves and nothing else then, huh? I've also told you plenty of times, Amanda, but I am seriously working a very good job right now. I even have the money to take care of that whole household without issue. Yet after everything I've done, I'm actually going to be kicked out of my own parents' home?
Come on now, Stacy, and stop with all that lying. I've never heard of any high school dropout getting a good enough job with any company. Trying to make yourself look good now by lying about some magical job that you don't have? Oh, this will only make things hurt worse for you.
I guess you really never will be able to listen to what I've had to say. I do think my parents are the worst for getting you to believe such lies, but you not even giving me the chance to explain everything to you is just insane.
I told you there's no point in me listening to whatever a dropout has to say about me. If I were to listen to you, my ears might just melt right off my head.
Excuse me?
Both of my parents are amazing doctors, and I'm their very well-off daughter. And since I have a husband now with a very good career, I cannot be bothered to be around some loser like you.
I see. No matter what I try and say, to you, I'm just a stupid high school dropout. And that's why you won't listen or give me a chance.
An embarrassment like you only has one job now, and that's to get lost. From now on, your very busy business-owning mom and dad will be taking care of your brother and I.
Good luck with my jobless parents, then.
Uh-huh.
I have a lot to be upset about right now, but honestly, I'm relieved to be getting kicked out of that house. I'm finally set free from those two extremely selfish, unemployed parents of mine. Amanda, do your best with taking care of those two for me, okay? They really don't have anything to offer now that their company has been gone for years, but since you and my brother will be living with them now, I don't have to worry.
Their company is gone? Oh, wait, what do you mean they're jobless? His parents still have a company, right? I never heard anything about their company going bankrupt or anything.
That's because they worked really hard to hide that fact from you. So of course you wouldn't hear about any of it.
Wait, what do you mean they worked hard to hide it from me?
In reality, the both of them lost that company years ago. They had a hard time keeping that company afloat, and after a lot of near misses, they finally lost the company. And so right now, they've both been living each day pretty well thanks to the money I bring in. I've been the sole provider for those two this whole time, Amanda.
Huh? That cannot be real. Do you actually think I'd believe you telling me that their company went bankrupt when I've never heard a thing about this from them before?
Well, of course you won't, especially since my mom has been lying to you about it for a while now. So there's no way you could believe me right now.
And also, you're still a high school dropout, right? There's no way someone as low as you could ever take care of your parents as well as you make it seem. There's no way an idiot with no education could ever support two people on their own.
I didn't drop out of high school because I hated studying, you know. Because of my parents both being failures and crying to me all the time, I had to stop going.
Your parents' fault then?
Right when I was getting into my junior year, their company was in hot water. And out of nowhere, they took the money that had been saved up for me to go to college and put it into their company to keep it from going under. And so because of that, there was little hope of me going on, of course, with the addition of them both constantly asking me to help them. I just wasn't able to manage myself anymore and had to give in to their nonstop begging. But as for my brother, they told me that he needs to go to a good university since he's a man. And that's why he was able to get a college degree and all of that.
Wait, really?
And for me, I was left trying my best to help out in whatever way I could with my parents' company. Luckily, even though I wasn't earning much for helping them, I learned a lot about running a business and was able to start my own smaller company. So thankfully, I'm now able to make around $200,000 a year off of it.
$200,000. Yo, you're able to bring in that kind of money? Wait, I didn't even know that you had a whole company of your own now.
Well, I tried my best to explain all of that to you before. I said that I was working a good job. And I asked you to just listen to me over and over again, right?
Ugh.
But you chose to only believe in my mom's word without ever giving me a chance. And you had the idea that because I was a dropout, I couldn't amount to anything. But because of your blind faith in her, I was finally able to get out of their house, and I am so happy for it. I was getting very tired of having to give my time to the two of them.
Oh, wait. You can't possibly be saying that, we'll be able to care for them. Having to live in the same house as two unemployed losers is not something I can do. They'll be the downfall of me, and I'll never be able to have my own life. I'm no longer going to live here with them. There's no way I'm living with people that have no money.
Oh?
I thought living with them would mean more money for me. Honestly, I had assumed that they'd pay for everything I wanted and needed. But that'll never happen now that they don't have a company to bring money in with. There's no merit to me living with them anymore now.
Amanda? You had been wanting to live with my parents so that they'd pay for all of your wants and needs? Even though they'd already be letting you live in the house with them?
What do you want? What's wrong with me having them pay for everything I need and want? Isn't it normal to have your parents paying for you when you're living with them? And I could use the money to help out my parents with their life right now. What's so wrong with that?
What? Your parents need help with their lives now too? Those two are doctors, right? So they should be bringing in a large amount of money for themselves. I have never heard of a doctor that doesn't make enough money to support themselves.
Huh?
Could this mean that your parents aren't actually doctors? There's no reason that you would have lied to all of us about that, right? I'm sure you and your parents are different from my selfish and self-centered ones.
Hey, how did you guess that? How did you come to the conclusion that my parents aren't doctors? How did you figure out that I've been lying to you? Are you some kind of investigator or something?
What? They aren't actually doctors then, so you have been lying to us all.
No, wait, that wasn't a lie. Wait, hold on, I never said they were real doctors, did I?
Can you calm down a little and clearly explain yourself? What was a lie and what was the truth? And can you tell me why you lied in the first place?
Well, because your brother told me that his parents both ran a company of their own. And since your dad was technically a CEO, I had no choice but to lie about my parents. I didn't want him to think poorly of me, so I accidentally started telling him that my parents were both doctors. But in reality, those two just work part-time at the supermarket.
Oh.
If he found out that they both were part-timers at the supermarket, I thought he'd give up on me and your parents would tell me I can't marry him. So that's why I kept my family a secret so that I could be married. But for a while now, I've been getting an allowance from the both of my parents to make it seem like they are rich. Around $500 a month to keep everyone from knowing the truth about them.
So you have really made your life tough on yourself. After lying about both of your parents and then having them pay you money every month to keep up the ruse?
That's why for a little while I kept the truth hidden and received some money from the two of them. But now they want me to repay them for that, and the amount they want to receive from me is huge. And since I can't keep paying them back as much as they've been asking, I planned on living with your parents to get some money from them. I wouldn't have to pay for living expenses, and they would even be able to hand my parents the money they need.
And so that's your reason for kicking out some dropout stay-at-home loser? You made it seem as though you were being a saint and saving my parents the trouble of having to deal with me, when really you just wanted to become the parasite that feeds off them.
But I never thought that your parents would be unemployed. I just hoped that I could at least get a little money from the both of them for living with them. What is wrong with the both of your parents? They hid all of that from me. They're the worst.
So you're saying that about them? You yourself lied about your parents so that you could get married to my brother and make it this far with him.
Well, I can be forgiven for my lies because they were necessary. I just needed to lie so that I'd be able to marry your brother. It was just a harmless lie, unlike the ones your parents have told.
No matter what the reason is a lie. But isn't this all great? Both of your guys' parents have been having trouble with money, so you don't have to worry about one's parents being better than the others. Now you can all relax and live together as a happy family. So as for caring for both my parents in that house, please and thank you.
Come back home, Stacy. I never thought that Amanda would have been the one to lie to all of us. What was she telling us when she said her parents were doctors? All they are, two part-time losers. I'm gonna have her divorce my son right now.
What? You're making her leave the family?
Of course I am. She lied to everyone about who her parents really were. But by doing that, we'll only be left with your brother in this house. And with the work he does and the money he makes, we won't have enough to live in this house. So that's why you need to come back to our house and help us.
No, he should be able to help you better than me, right? He was the one that went to an amazing university and got into a really nice company that pays him so well, right? He should be more than able to support you all with the money he makes.
Well, he's making less than we had all been led to believe. We thought he'd at least be making $100,000 a year at that company with the education he has. But he's only making a measly $50,000 for all three of us to try and live on.
Well, he only just started working there, so it makes sense he's not that high up yet. If anything, he's making just enough at his age with the education he has.
But with that kind of money, your father and I can't live our lives freely. When we had you, you'd give us $50,000 a year to spend on what all we wanted. But he said he can't do the same for us. He said if he works really hard, he could do $1,000 a month, but that's not enough.
Well, that's because you and Dad aren't economizing. Even though you lost that company years ago, you and Dad still live like you can both afford anything and do whatever you like. That's the whole reason I had to give you that $50,000 a year, is because you guys continued that costly lifestyle.
Hey, please, Stacy. Just come back to this house and bring everything back to the way it was. I'll apologize to you for everything that happened as long as you come back here.
Absolutely not. I am not going to ever give you guys any of my money ever again.
What?
And before you continue to think about trying to get me to come back, you might want to work on gathering all your things and getting out of there. Now that I'm not living there, I'm having the house sold.
Huh? You're gonna sell this house?
Did you forget about that? I'm the one that owns that house. When you both lost the company, the bank was going to take the house and everything as well, so I stepped in and bought the house from you.
Huh?
And I've paid off the rest of the house now, so I'm free to sell it. So you and Dad and everyone need to get out.
Yo, you're lying, right? Wait! You're going to sell this wonderful house that we've all lived in?
Well, if you had never thrown me out of the house, then this wouldn't have to be happening. But now that I've seen how you guys act, I have to do even the most heartbreaking of things. Along with this, I plan to cut ties to you all as well. And anything that has traces of you guys on it is going to be sold, like the house. I want to completely forget about you all and start a new life for myself.
What?
No matter what you have to say, it's too late. So I'll give you until the end of the week, okay? If you don't leave by then, expect the police or someone to come pick you all up. Immediately after that, my brother and Amanda got a divorce. And in Amanda's case, she had to go back to her parents, who were pissed that she got a divorce. And so they told her to find a job and start making all the money that she needs to pay them back for what they'd done for her. But in her selfish and stupid fashion, Amanda told them to shut up and that if only they had real jobs, she wouldn't have been divorced. And so right now, the three of them are living together in her parents' house while she tries her hardest to make whatever money she can. In my parents' case, they are still with my brother at a smaller house, relying on him to care for them. But unlike how things were when they got to have me taking care of them, my brother is a lot more straightforward and is asking them to find some kind of work to start making a little extra money. He then told them that if they don't, he'll have no choice but to kick them out. And because of that, both my parents are now working their hardest to find some kind of employment. But of course, this hasn't all happened without my mom texting me constantly to have me come back and help them. But every single time, I leave her texts on read and completely ignore her. Layla, where are you right now? Everyone is out looking for you right now.
Kinsey, I have realized something very important. I see that we only have one shot at life, right?
Wait, what? Did you think that we had more chances at starting a new life?
Well, if there is only one life that we can live, I should be living my life the way I want to, right?
But where are you right now, Layla?
I'm at the train station.
What train station?
Close to where I've been living.
Huh? But that station is like an hour's walk away from your house. And there's only 30 minutes left until the wedding ceremony begins.
I am not getting married.
Hold on, Layla, what are you saying? Today is the day of your wedding, right? And everyone you invited are already here waiting for you to marry the groom. And after telling everyone for the longest time you were going to get married, you're not? What the hell has happened to you?
It turns out that I don't want to get married anymore. And I just want you to know that this isn't some sort of confusion on my part.
You really don't want to get married then? But if you really didn't want to, then you should have told everyone that before your big day, right? Right now, everyone is worried because we don't know where you ran off to.
Well, I plan to move away now.
My head is starting to hurt. Are you kidding me? You're going to move away now?
If I continue to live in the house I've been in, my fiance will come looking for me, right? And you, Mom, and Dad all know where I was living, so I couldn't hide. And so I've decided I'll move far away and start my life over again and live it the way I want to.
But that's just what you think would happen. Are you actually planning to do all of this today?
I know that you'd all come after me, so that's why I chose today to run while you all are busy. Now, take care of that wedding for me, could you?
What do you want me to do about your wedding? Come back here and take responsibility for your own wedding, Layla. This has nothing to do with me, right?
But you're my older sister, Kinsey.
Even though I'm your big sister, you running away from your wedding is not something I need to be responsible for. You have to come back here and apologize to your fiancé for this, okay?
Now that you bring him up, I never chose to be with him.
But you were the one that chose to ask his hand in marriage, right?
He's the guy that Mom and Dad brought to me to go out with.
You kept saying that you wanted to get married and asked them over and over again to introduce you to a good-looking man. And so Mom and Dad did exactly that for you.
But I thought they'd bring me someone a bit better looking than him. If only there was another man that I could have chosen with a bit better of a face.
Huh? I just have to ask this for my own interest. But you haven't been with any other men this whole time, right?
I don't care about him anymore, so we don't have to keep talking about this.
Hey, Layla?
I'm telling you that my fiancé looks good and all, but he's only a simple office man. And he's working in the same company as Dad, right?
I've heard he works under Dad, but...
So that means that even at his best, he'd be doing the same as Dad. I hate simple people like that. I want to become someone that has a lot of money, you know? And having to be with an office worker making the same as pretty much every other man is not going to happen to me.
So you're being that selfish again, huh? Can you stop trying to think of only yourself when it comes to things involving others? I don't care who you plan to get married to, but making other people have to go through trouble for you is not okay.
But they have you there, so you can do something to ease the pain for everyone, right?
Stop playing around, Layla. I am well aware that you are a pretty selfish woman when it comes to money and things like that. But what you're doing now is taking things way too far. You're already an adult now, okay? And when you chose to get married and chose to have a wedding, you made both those decisions yourself, right? So if you don't want to go through with all this anymore, you need to come back here and clean up the mess.
Well, I don't like having to deal with anything troubling, and all that other crap like people's feelings is just too much for me. I'll leave all that to you.
I am not going to clean up your mess. I may be your older sister, but I am not some kind of assistant to you.
But having you as my older sister go in front of everyone and say you're sorry for my actions should work out, right?
But why do I have to be the one saying sorry for your selfish actions?
Because that's what big sisters are for, right? You want to take care of your cute little sister, so you'll do anything to make sure they stay happy.
But when you cancel on a wedding with your fiancé, that's like something out of an old drama or something. Do you not see just how many problems this is going to cause for everyone here?
There will not be that many problems, Kinsey. You just have everyone start eating and drinking, and then you can all get drunk and have a laugh over this.
But you just went and left the wedding without saying a word to anyone, so you're going to have to pay for the wedding being canceled. And your fiancé is also going to want you to pay him a settlement for the trouble you've caused. And you're going to have to apologize to all the guests that came here today taking time out of their busy lives. And finally, you're going to have to tell his parents why you chose to not marry him in the end.
All right then. Why don't you take my place in the wedding?
Huh? What is wrong with you?
You and I are about the same height, although my breasts are a bit bigger. But you can fit into my dress and pull it off, I think. And you're single right now with no boyfriend or anything holding you down. This will be perfect for you. So instead of me, you can get married today.
Come back to reality right now. I am not going to be taking your place as the bride today. I don't want to get married yet, and I will not be taking over your wedding to do so.
The train's here. So I'm going to leave now. I plan to become happy again, so you go ahead and make yourself happy as well. Bye-bye.
Hold it right there, Layla. Don't even try blocking me. Layla? Mom, where are you? Dad even told me that he hasn't seen you anywhere yet.
Hi, Kinsey. Thank you.
Huh? What?
Your dad and I are leaving right now. Layla didn't end up coming to her own wedding, and so there was no reason for us to stay there, right? And so that's why we left already.
Hold on, Mom! You just left me all alone here by myself? What am I going to do now?
I'd like you to tell all the guests about how our daughter will no longer be coming to that wedding and the reason why. And whatever happens after that, I'd also like you to deal with.
You're leaving this all to me?
As well as the talks about the cost of the wedding. You can already tell that his family is getting upset, right? Try your best and get them to not think about getting a settlement from Layla, okay?
They have a right to be mad at her, though. She literally canceled on the wedding and ran away.
And I want you to be the one apologizing for that. You're good with all that stuff, right? I think you'll be able to handle everything that has to do with the money side of things as well. This has nothing to do with me or your dad, after all.
What do you mean it has nothing to do with you two? Layla is your daughter, right? And what do you mean I'm good at this stuff? I don't ever remember being really good at apologizing for other people's mistakes.
I'm saying that you've always been good at controlling other people's emotions.
Are you talking about how in the past I'd always be there to talk Layla out of getting punished and things like that?
And that made you a great big sister.
Come on, Mom. The only reason she was ever able to get away with things is because you and Dad would always spoil her. And whenever there were any problems, you'd have me come in and handle it.
Don't try and make it sound like we pushed things off on you.
But it's the truth. Whenever I was with Layla and she'd throw a ball and break the window, you'd blame me for it. And when we'd be at a friend's house and she'd damage some of their things, I'd be blamed for it. You guys always made me have to be the one to deal with all her mistakes.
And that's because you're the big sister. It's your job to take care of your little sister, right?
But you guys are making me take her place when she needs to learn herself that what she's done is wrong. But now that you've been doing that all her life, she's never learned that her actions have consequences that can hurt other people. And that's why this whole situation with her wedding has happened. She's an adult, for crying out loud.
And I can see that this time she took things a bit too far. And so, after this, we plan to punish her if she ever comes back to our house.
For the time being, can you guys come back here to help me with her fiancé's parents? If we don't apologize to them and handle this, they'll be very upset.
It should be more than enough to have you there apologizing for all of this.
Are you kidding me?
And that's why I've been asking you to take care of everything for us and that I was thankful. When you have the whole mess cleaned up, you let me and your father know.
So in other words, not only is Layla not taking responsibility for this, but neither are you and Dad?
Well, it's not our fault that Layla decided to cancel out of nowhere on her own wedding like that.
But she's your kid, and you have to take responsibility for that.
Well, she's an adult now and has a life of her own. And she moved out of our house a while back. So there's no reason for us to be responsible for her anymore.
Why are you all so irresponsible?
If you want to keep passing the responsibility around like that, maybe it's time you take it. I think that your father and I don't have to take any responsibility for what's happened today. But you do feel like someone has to be responsible, right? Well, then go ahead and take it so that this can all be dealt with.
There's no reason for me to be taking it either, though.
Well, you're the only one there from the immediate family, right? So it's all on your shoulders now. So make sure you clean it all up with nothing remaining, okay? And do not bring a single speck of trouble home with you.
You're lying, right? Mom, come on. Do not leave me here all by myself in the middle of Layla's problem.
I stopped blocking you, Kenzie. It's been so long now. How are you doing?
Layla, after leaving your wedding without telling anyone and then blocking me when you finally did respond after telling me that you were going to run away, what do you want from me?
Really? You're still upset over all of that? A woman that can't let go of the past is scary.
If you don't have anything for me, can we be done here? I'm working right now anyway.
You're still living with mom and dad, right?
Ever since I got out of college, I've been living there. What about it?
I knew it. Let me guess, you're also still single. If you keep living with them, you're going to stay single forever.
So did you unblock me just to tell me something like that?
Actually, I'm thinking of coming back home.
What? You're coming home now? What are you talking about?
I had a lot of things going on for the past 3 years, Kinsey. But I think that I'm done with all of them and plan to come back and live with mom and dad.
Wait! I have a lot of things I'd like to say as well then. Are you actually saying you want to come back here? It's because of you that I had to deal with a lot of bullcrap.
If you're talking about that wedding, that's in the past now.
Well, after realizing that you had canceled on the wedding, both mom and dad left back to the house as well. And they left me there to clean up your mess.
And?
I had to apologize to every single person there, and that day has gone down as the worst in my life. I had to literally go up to the parents of your fiancé and ask them to forgive you and our family over and over again with all my will.
Great job, Kenzie. Thank you so much for being there for me.
Before I get any thanks from you, I'd like an apology.
I understand that you had all of that happen to you, but I have a new fiancé and I want to come back home to get married.
Don't you dare forget about what happened to me. And you have another fiancé now? You're not on your own right now?
Nope. And he told me that it'd be okay if I lived with mom and dad, so I thought I'd be nice and give him the chance to live with mom, dad, and myself at their house. And so I'd like you to get out of there.
What?
If you're still living there, you're getting in the way, right? And I plan to make your current room into the room him and I can start making love in. So the parasite still living in their parents' house needs to get out.
Well, that house isn't there anymore, though.
Huh? Yeah, there's no way that could be possible.
It's because of you that it went bye-bye.
Because of me? What are you going on about?
We had to sell it 3 years ago. Look, you canceled last minute on your own wedding, right? We had to pay for all the wedding and for the settlement your then fiancé had asked for, and we didn't have the money for that. And so mom and dad sold the house and used that money to pay them.
Hold on a second. I left you to handle everything for me, didn't I?
Well, those people didn't just want me to apologize to them. They also asked that I pay for all of the wedding and for the settlement. And because it was your wedding that you dipped out on last second, your fiancé's parents were so upset with me that they would not let me leave without promising to give them the money they asked for. They were at the point that I feared for my life, that someone might kill me.
Well, maybe you should have been a bit more kind to them.
Realize that they aren't only pissed at me for what happened, and they are also pissed at mom and dad.
What do you mean?
You pushed all your responsibilities on me and ran, and then mom and dad left the wedding with no such thing as a single apology to his family. And when his parents learned that I was the only one trying to save our family, they lost all faith in our parents and you. But luckily, in the end of things, they saw that since I stayed and took the responsibility that was not mine, they forgave me. They told me that I didn't have to be the one to pay them for the money they asked for.
So you're saying that mom and dad took care of all of it?
Well, it should have been you paying, but since you were a little dog about it, Mom and Dad had to. And ever since that day, I have not felt any remorse for Mom and Dad and feel no need to care for them. And I left their home as soon as I could.
Then you lied to me and you're not actually with them anymore.
Well, back when I was going to college, I was able to save a little bit of money by living with Mom and Dad. And then even after that, I continued to stay with them to save up a lot of my own money.
What?
And I had planned to give them some money back for helping pay my tuition. But I also had a scholarship that helped pay for most of my schooling, and so I was able to pay them back through chores around the house since it wasn't that much. However, when you had canceled on your wedding, I made sure to pay them whatever remained with that money I'd saved up and got right out of their house.
Then where are you living at now?
In a penthouse, but that's all I'm saying.
A penthouse? Why the heck are you able to live in a penthouse right now?
Because I'm a married woman, and my husband is a business owner. And so I moved into the penthouse that he had been living in alone while he was single.
Wait, you're lying, right? Why are you able to have such an amazing life now with a husband who has all that money?
Well, anyway, that's the reason there's no more home left for you to go back to. And so you can't come back. When I was leaving the house, Mom told me that I was disowned for leaving them to take care of their mess. And since then, I haven't gotten a single message from either Mom or Dad. So I have no clue where they are or what they're doing at this moment.
Then where should I go now? I'm going to be having a baby soon.
You're going to give birth? Are you actually pregnant right now, Layla?
Yeah, I did become pregnant, and since I'll be needing money and support, I thought I'd go back to Mom and Dad's house to live. And I thought that Mom and Dad would be happy to have me back and all.
Well, this has nothing to do with me then. If you happen to have their numbers still, why not try giving them a call? However, I don't think they're going to help you paint a happy life for yourself.
Hey, Kenzie. Since when have you become married? And when did your husband turn out to be a business owner, allowing you to live in a penthouse?
You disowned me, so I thought that meant we had cut ties, right? Why are you trying to talk to me now? Did you actually want to know that I was getting married back then?
I want to talk about how your husband has money right now. What penthouse are you guys living in? If you happen to have another room in that penthouse, then your dad and I are going to be living there shortly. Do you have kids yet? If you do, then you can leave them in my care while you go out.
If you're looking for a grandbaby, it would be in Layla's belly. So go help care for hers, okay? She is your favorite daughter, after all.
That girl is trying to get us to give her money right now. And when she told us about getting married, she also said her fiancé is jobless. If she doesn't have the money, she should get a job or something. Do something with her life, right? I don't want her coming to us for money right now.
Well, she did say she wanted to become wealthy, didn't she? Guess she never could make it that high. Well, I guess I knew that with the way she acted, nobody with money would be looking to marry her.
Compared to a parasitic daughter asking for money, we'd rather have the daughter that's doing well with her wealthy husband. You know that ever since we had to sell the house, things have been tough for us, right? You also know about how the man that Layla was supposed to marry worked under your dad, right? Because of that, work became difficult for your dad, and right now he's no longer working there. I can't deal with living in this cheap and raggedy apartment anymore, you know? I'd love to see what it's like to live in a penthouse.
Well, I plan to stay as far away as I can from you guys. And so I'd like you guys to no longer talk to me after this.
What are you saying, Kenzie? You want to live with your mom and dad, right? Right. You were home with us that whole time after you graduated, right?
That was because we promised to do that so that I could pay you back for paying my tuition. And I've paid you back for all of it, right?
But ever since you've left us, you've been so cold.
But that might have to do with you and Dad leaving me at Layla's wedding to clean up all the mess for you three.
But when our life began to go downhill, nobody came to help us.
Well, you both and Layla used me so often to take care of all your guys' troubles that when the day came you actually needed help, I was all used up. I am not your scapegoat, okay? I had had enough of your problems and made sure that the next time you needed me, you took the time to deal with your own problems.
I feel so sorry for spoiling Layla so much instead of spoiling you as well. And so I want to apologize to you for all of that. So, please tell us your address. I want to see your husband as well. And since he has his own company and all, he should be able to support your dad and I as well, right? Right, Kinsey? Kenzie, tell us your address. I am not allowed to go back to mom and dad, so I'll be coming to live with you.
Nope.
But your little sister is in trouble again.
Why not try living on your own then? Perhaps even go and care for mom and dad now that they're in trouble as well. I am a wife to a loving husband and family now. I have no need to be around you guys.
But you told me that mom had taken care of paying for the wedding and settlement, right? If I'd known you were telling the truth, then I would have never bothered calling them again.
Well, they had to pay for something you should have managed. I'm guessing they want you to pay them back now for all of that, right?
I don't have that kind of money on me. And I have a baby that I need to give birth to. Aren't they being rude? And when I told them about you, they just hung up on me.
Well, just a bit ago, I was talking with Mom.
Those two are the worst parents. If they need me to care for them in the future, I will definitely not. They never bothered to help me when I need them most, so this is what they'll get. That's why I'll come to live with you now.
Well, when you were in trouble, you took all that trouble and pushed it onto me. And then you just disappeared forever, leaving me with all the people that were really hurt by you to try and say I was sorry to them. Because of that, I am no longer your sister.
Stop that! Hold on a sec. Don't tell me you're not my sister. If I don't have you anymore, who am I going to go to with my needs?
You have that fiancé of yours and a kid on the way. You can ask them to help you. You have to be ready for when your baby arrives, right?
Help me, Kinsey. Your cute little sister is in trouble right now. I have always thanked you for helping me out.
I'm sorry, but I have never liked having to deal with your responsibilities that you pushed onto me. And even though you're an adult now, you still haven't learned that there are consequences for your actions and that you must deal with them instead of having me do it for you.
Wait, Kinsey, I'm asking you, please.
I think it's my turn to block you. According to what friends and distant family have told me, Layla has been battling Mom and Dad about the money she owes them after they covered for her. They all don't have any money right now, and it seems none of them would like to get a job. They made a truce to all live together and work with whatever money they had to survive, and it seems that the whole conversation about having Layla pay them back has vanished. And recently, it seems the three of them have been going around asking family and friends to lend them some money. But because everyone has heard the stories of what happened, they haven't received a thing.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hi, Bella. Thank you so much for coming over today. It was great to finally be able to meet my son's girlfriend. You were a very, very interesting person, honey. I seriously did not expect someone like you to show up. I know my son's a hassle, but it would be amazing if you could take good care of him. I was very glad to have been able to meet you too. And, of course, I'll do my best to make sure he's the happiest man in the world. Oh, thank you, honey. I cannot wait for your wedding. But before that, of course, me and my husband would be delighted to be able to meet your parents. I would like to bring a small present with me for them. Would you have any suggestions as to what we should bring them? How about their favorite drink? Do they drink any type of alcohol? Thank you so much. Yes, especially my mother. I recently heard from her that she's very into wine right now. Oh my, I love wine too. I'm sure we'll make wonderful friends. Could I ask what your father likes to drink? Let me guess. Is it beer? All men like beer. Oh, Could it be something like Japanese sake? Actually, I don't have a father. I was raised single-handedly by my mother.
What? Is that so?
Yes. I know I should have told you earlier on, and I'm sorry. I was so nervous that I completely forgot to tell you.
So this single mother situation. Since when was this? And may I ask why your father is absent?
My father died right after I was born. It was a car accident. I've been raised by my mother ever since. The first memory I have is one without my father.
Right after you were born. So you've never truly experienced living in a household where there's a father present?
Technically, yes, but my relatives all came together to help my mother raise me, so my uncles are something very close to a father to me. They're the ones who showed up to my school ceremonies and graduations.
That is not the same thing as having a father. Oh my. I cannot believe my son is getting married to a woman who's never had a father.
I'm sorry?
This means you were raised in a very poor environment, correct? This cannot be happening. My son is getting married to a peasant.
A peasant?
How dare you hide something so important from me up until now? You should be ashamed of yourself. You were intending to keep it a secret until the marriage was complete, weren't you? How spiteful you people are.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson. I had absolutely no intention in hiding anything from you. I truly did just forget to tell you. And Patrick knows all about the situation of my household, so I assumed you'd heard about it from him already.
Are you blaming my son for this? I have not heard a single word from him about this situation. If I had been given knowledge about this, I wouldn't have allowed you to come meet me and my husband today.
What?
Oh, what should we do? Judging from the way you're a peasant without the father, I assume you hadn't been given a proper higher education, correct? I cannot let a nuisance like that come into my household. This is unacceptable.
Please calm down. I'm sorry to say this, but you're clearly overreacting about me only having a mother. Some of your stereotypes are simply not true.
What do you mean, stereotypes? All of the things I've spoken up until now are simply facts. A family is consisted of a mother and father and their children. A family without either of the parents is therefore incomplete. You don't know how a normal family looks like, and therefore you don't know how a wife must treat her husband. My son is the one who is going to suffer in the long run if we accept an incomplete woman like you as his wife.
I don't even know what to say to that. My father has a valid reason to be absent. There are millions of kids all over this country who are missing a parent, and sometimes even both. Could you please be a bit more understanding towards my circumstances?
No, I cannot. This is not a matter of understanding. This is the bare minimum that I ask from a woman who is going to be my son's wife. I was born in a normal household with two parents. My parents were both very kind, and our family was very wealthy. Thanks to that, I was able to learn not only how a mother and a father should treat their kids, but also how a wife must treat her husband. In the end, I was able to find my own husband and treat him with the care I learned from my parents, and we are happily living after. Imagine what life would be like with a wife who doesn't know how to properly treat her husband. We live in far too different worlds, honey.
Different worlds?
Yes, you need to be raised normally to provide your family a normal and happy life. But I'm sorry, but you were just born in the same normal world as us. I'm sure that you were very poor, and your mother was probably very unkind towards you. And now my son is going to marry someone who's only lived in that kind of world? Unacceptable! We need a family meeting this instant.
Does this mean that you're going to reconsider whether you're allowing my marriage with Patrick or not?
Of course we're going to have to reconsider.
I simply cannot accept the thought of my son getting myself into a marriage with someone like you. You were telling me about how pleasantly surprised you were to see me just minutes ago. You even told me that you were glad to have been able to meet me. Does that all change simply from the fact that I was raised without a father? I don't like to repeat myself. Please do not contact me until a family meeting has ended. And no matter what happens, blame fate for giving birth to you in a single-parent household.
Hello, Bella. I'm so very sorry about all of the meaningless things you had to hear from my wife. Just ridiculous. I'd like to meet you and apologize in person. Is there a date and time where I can please come and see you?
There's absolutely nothing to worry about, Mr. Johnson. I accept your apology through text. Similar things happen very often when you're raised by a widow. But I would like to know what the decision was after your family meeting. Am I going to be rejected as your son's wife?
Of course not. I would absolutely love to greet you into our family as Patrick's wife.
Are you sure?
Of course. Please don't mind anything that my wife says. You're a very kind soul, and I see you as a perfect fit with my son. If anything, I'd like to ask you if you really want to choose our son out of all the fish out there. I cannot wait to see you two get married at the wedding.
You don't know how much that means to me, Mr. Johnson. Thank you so much. So we can continue with the process of completing the marriage, correct?
Absolutely. I can't wait to see the mother who raised such an amazing young lady. I've given my schedule for the next month to Patrick, so it would be great if you could please discuss a date with your mother.
I'll be right on it. Again, thank you so much for being so understanding.
No, I'd like to thank you for being so understanding. Your mother is a nurse, right? I'm sure she's very busy with night shifts and everything, so please feel free to give us any date. I'm sure I'll be able to make some adjustments with my company's schedule if necessary.
Thank you. I'll make sure to tell her that.
By the way, I heard from my son recently that your mother works at a hospital in the town nearby.
Yeah, she works at a city-run hospital in the town next by. My mother was originally born and raised there, but she had to leave after getting married with my father. After I was finally a legal adult, she said that she wanted to go back, and that's how the two of us ended up coming back.
I see. So she's originally from the town next door. And she's a nurse. Is her name Julie by any chance?
Actually, it is.
Was her last name Roberts before she got married to your father?
Wow. Her last name was Roberts, actually. How did you know?
I can't believe it. Her and I used to go to the same high school. We're actually from the same grade and same class.
You were in the same class as her?
Yeah, you could ask her if you like. If she remembers a boy with glasses who played the tuba in band. I'm sure she'll be very surprised to hear that you're marrying my son.
I've heard from her that she used to be a part of the band too.
A small world we live in, huh? There weren't many male members, so it was really uncomfortable having to play in the middle of a bunch of girls. Your mother really helped break the ice between us male members and the girls. I can't remember how many times she saved me from awkward situations.
I cannot wait to ask my mother about this. I'll ask her right away when I get home today.
Please tell her that I'm very looking forward to seeing her again. I heard rumors that her husband had passed away, and she suddenly stopped coming to the class reunions, so I've always wanted to know if she was doing well.
I'll make sure to tell her.
Oh, and also, please keep this whole story a secret from my wife, please. She's especially sensitive towards me knowing other women. Even if they're friends that I've known since elementary school. She hates the thought of me socializing with the other girls.
My mouth is zipped. I'll make sure to let Patrick know when we decide on a date, if that's fine.
Absolutely.
Again, thank you for saving me yesterday.
Of course, I'll make sure that my wife understands. And I'll make sure that something like yesterday never happens again. I look forward to our future as family, Bella.
Bella, could I ask you who decided on the restaurant that we went today? Because the food tasted like nothing. Yes, Mrs. Johnson, that would be me. My friend recommended it to me. I'm sorry if it didn't match your taste very well. That makes sense. It was you who chose the restaurant, I see. Being raised by only your mother, I'm sure you weren't able to go out to eat very often. I'm sorry if I upset you. I just wanted to let you know that I haven't accepted you as my son's wife, Bella. I'm just stepping back because good parents don't make decisions for their children. I'm just keeping my mouth shut about this because I'm a great mother. Thank you for that, Mrs. Johnson. I'll work hard so one day you might accept me as your son's wife. I doubt that day will ever come, honey. I don't think I've ever accepted a person coming from a single-parent household. I wanted to clear something about the wedding. Do you have some time? Yes? What could that be? Well, we spoke a little about the wedding when we were at the restaurant with your mother today, right? And I thought I heard you say that you wanted to invite all of your friends and have it make into a big party. I didn't mean to say that I wanted to make it into a big party. I just wanted to invite as many of the people who have supported me up until this point as possible. I really wouldn't have made it this far if it weren't for all of them. This may be the best chance that I'll get to show them my appreciation. Of course, I'm sure that you and your mother have caused a lot of trouble for many people up until this point in your life. I'm sure you'll have to thank them thoroughly for that. Pardon me? I'd like to ask you for just one favor regarding that wedding. I do not want your mother at the wedding no matter what. Keep this promise no matter what happens. Why wouldn't I invite my own mother to my wedding? She's one of the most important people in my whole life. Regardless of whether she's the mother of the bride, I do not want that kind of female to be even close to me. She's going to ruin the whole thing by just being there. My precious son's wedding. Could I ask what you didn't like about my mother? Did she say something rude? I don't like anything about that lady. She was acting all cocky because she's a nurse. I'm confident that she was making fun of me the whole time because I was just a housewife. What? And the way she would flirt with every guy she saw, just because she doesn't have a husband. You saw the way she was flirting with the male waitress, didn't you? How vulgar of her, getting all excited because he was young. I'm sorry, but I don't think I saw her being that excited like you're saying. What do you mean you didn't see her? Ask anyone and they'd tell you how excited she was. I mean, who orders their food like that? You can't tell me that you didn't heard how she raised the tone of her voice whenever she spoke to the waiter. And the way she locked onto that young man to serve our table. My mother did nothing of such nature. Yes, she did. And you know what? She was also looking at my husband with flirtatious eyes. What? The way the two of them were speaking while gazing into each other's eyes with a grin on their mouth. Disgusting. Just what you'd expect from a filthy widow. How dare she try to lay her hands on another woman's man? Isn't it normal to look into someone's eyes when you speak to them? I don't want to hear any excuses, and I will not tolerate seeing that filthy woman's face ever again. So, you may not bring her to my son's wedding no matter the circumstance. Your peasant mother wouldn't be able to bring a single present for you two anyways. A wedding is not a place to beg for free food and entertainment. You know what, Mom? Why don't you stay at home for our wedding? What?
If you hate Bella's mother so much, then do yourself a favor and stay at home so that you won't have to see her. Out of everyone who's invited, you're the most unworthy to even be at our son and Bella's wedding. I've had enough of your stupid jokes, Marie.
Honey? Is that you? How are you talking through Bella's phone?
That's because we haven't left the restaurant yet. I'm still right next to her.
What?
I was having some coffee with Bella and her mother Julie after you and Patrick left. Just to see you harassing my soon-to-be daughter-in-law like this. How dare you say any of those things? Have you gone insane? Do you really not realize how much of an embarrassment you're being to our whole family?
Wait a minute. Why are you having tea time alone with that lady and her daughter? You traitor! How dare you call another woman by her first name like that?
There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. And what's the issue with calling a classmate that I've known for decades by her first name?
Classmates? You too were classmates?
Yes, I've known Julie since high school. She's always been a very nice friend of mine. I hadn't heard from her since we graduated, and we were having a great time catching up. Until you texted Bella and ruined it. I'm deeply ashamed of your words and actions.
You bring this up just now? Why on earth didn't you tell me that you two knew each other so well?
Why didn't you tell me you still haven't accepted Bella as our new daughter? Last time we had this conversation, you told me how you thought you were completely in the wrong, and that you'll gladly accept her as our wife's son, and as our own daughter. What happened to all of that,
Well,
Julie lost her precious husband in a car accident. But you know what she did? She worked hard and sacrificed everything for her daughter. And that daughter is now an amazing person, one of the best people who I've ever spoken to. And you say those horrible things about them. Shame on you. We're going to have a very, very long conversation about this when I get home. I'm so sorry about my wife yesterday. Could you please apologize to Julie as well for me?
it's completely fine, Mr. Johnson. She's already received a very thorough apology from Patrick, and my mother isn't upset at all about this.
I'd still like to formally apologize about this. And please don't mind anything that she said about you bringing your mother to the wedding. In fact, I'll make sure that my wife doesn't get to go.
What? Are you sure about this?
Of course I'm sure. She tried to keep your mother from going. Why would she deserve to be there? And I need both you and my son to smile and appreciate the moment with nothing to worry about. She's someone that might get in the way of that, so she can stay at home. Besides, your mother would want to concentrate fully on her daughter in a beautiful dress as well.
Thank you so much for your kindness. My mother seemed to be very excited to have been able to meet you again. So much that she's been looking for a tuba class to start playing again.
That's wonderful. She could play for all of us at the wedding.
I'll make sure to let my mother know about that request. Again, thank you so much for what you did for us yesterday. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again at the wedding. Let me in. Open this door right now. I'm the mother of the groom, for Christ's sake. How dare you keep me from entering? I went out of my way to come all the way here alone. I deserve to be let inside. Or else, I'll spread a rumor that your dirty little mother is trying to steal my husband from me. Mrs. Johnson. Mr. Johnson was the one who decided that we shouldn't let you in today. If you have anything to say, then please talk to your husband. Shut up! You will let me in right now, or else I will spread that rumor that I was talking about. Everyone would believe me instead of a widow and her daughter. You're going to regret not letting me in for the rest of your life. I'm very confident that what you said right now will not happen. So please, go home. I cannot keep playing your little games. What did you just say to me? Not a soul in this wedding hall would believe someone like you more than someone like my mother. Thanks to her likable personality, she's basically best friends with all of your relatives already. That's how she was able to receive so much support in the process of raising me. What? To my surprise, apparently she's already known most of your relatives from work. The perks of being a nurse, I suppose. They have endless stories to talk about, like how your mother was once taken care of by my mother when she was hospitalized, or how your uncle knew my mother's boss through work. It is truly a very, very small world we live in. It seems like she's getting closer with your relatives than I, the bride myself. What? How is that possible? A lady like that? Yes, a lady like that. I saw her trade numbers and make promises to get dinner together with some people a while ago. So I'm sure everyone will know that you're lying as soon as they hear that story. I don't understand. Why would everyone be so friendly with the mother of a single-parent household? You're just a peasant. A beggar! Mrs. Johnson, could you please tell me why you keep making the same mistakes over and over again? What? I've sent screenshots of this whole conversation to Mr. Johnson and Patrick. And I've also let them know that you're trying to break into the wedding right now. Are you kidding me? How do you think my husband's going to react to that? He told me that this was my last chance. Please. I have a wedding to participate in, so I'll be going now. Wait! Bella, I promise that I'll be quiet for the whole wedding. Please just let me in. I need to see my son. I don't want you ruining my wedding anymore, so that won't be happening. I just received a reply from Mr. Johnson. He says he'll take care of you immediately. He called the police on me! Well then, I'm sure they'll keep you occupied for the meantime. Goodbye then. I'll be busy having the time of my life. The wedding was carried out successfully, and me and Patrick were able to become happily married. Apparently, Mr. Johnson told the police that he would take over after they caught Mrs. Johnson, and she ended up being taped up in a back room somewhere in the building. After the wedding, she was scolded by all of her relatives for saying the things she said, and she spent the remainder of the night crying while me and my husband were having a blast. Apparently, Mrs. Johnson would act in a condescending way to a lot of her relatives and friends, and this was the final straw. Mr. Johnson also took this very seriously and made Mrs. Johnson promise that she would never show herself to me and my husband ever again, and even sign a contract saying that she would accept divorce if she did. Thanks to all of those things, me and my husband will be able to live our new marriage life together without any worries.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hello, Edith. Long time no see. Have you been doing all right? Are you getting around to finding yourself a boyfriend yet?
I've been doing all right. Thank you. But when it comes to a boyfriend, I'm still without one, all right.
Really? So you're telling me you're still single then, huh? You're almost into your 40s now. So I'd say this is pretty much it for you then. Even your younger sister is married to someone now. So I'd have to say you're just a loser now, huh?
It's wild to think you have the time to make fun of me like this when you're newlywed to your husband now and should be busy with that.
Excuse me? Unlike someone who's never worked a day in their life, I actually have been very busy and don't have that much time on my hands. I have to make sure that to please my husband, I'm cleaning the house every day over here. And the only reason I'm talking with you today is because I have something important to tell you about.
What kind of important stuff do you have to tell me?
Actually, I happen to be pregnant now. I was able to get married at the perfect age of 24, and at the age of 25, I'm already having my first baby. I think I am living the perfect life right now that any woman would be jealous of, right? Unlike a total loser like you, Edith, I'm winning the game of life.
Congrats, Emma. That is a very wonderful thing to tell me about. Now you'll have even more things to brag to me about.
Wow. You're even more excited about me than I thought you'd be. I was right to talk to you about this now instead of waiting until a closer date.
Huh? What's wrong with me being happy about you getting pregnant? I think it's normal for everyone to be happy about your new baby. I'm sure that when you tell Dad and Mom about this, they'll be over the moon with excitement.
But you're happy about all of this for a different reason, right? You're happy to hear that you'll now have a new niece or nephew that you can have over any time to take care of you when you're old and senile, right?
What?
Well, that's why I'm telling you about this now. Now listen, Just because I'm having a baby and all that doesn't mean you get to see them and use them for your each and every desire, okay? I don't want you and your sad single woman life getting in the way of my family as you age, so stay away from us, okay?
Hold on a second, Emma. You actually think someone like me would have such selfish thoughts as that about you and your family? I would never have you and your kids or husband come to me when I get older and need assistance. I happen to have money saved up for that, so when the time comes, I can be put into a retirement home.
I wonder if that'll really be the case. You'll be lonely and sad, so you might go to extremes to get whoever you can to help you, right? You don't even have someone around you now promising to look after you when you're old, and I'm sure that money you're talking about isn't even real. I'm telling you that if you don't start getting out and working more, you won't have the money to support yourself. And besides, when you get to that age, you should be asking your immediate family for help caring for you first. And I'm guessing you'll try and get me or my kids to take care of you then.
I would never do that to you guys. I've been thinking about my later years for a while now and really do have the money saved for it.
You seriously are going to continue thinking I'd believe that? Ha! I know for a fact you want to use my kids to look after you when you can't care for yourself anymore. But that's too bad for you, Edith. Ha! I will never have my kids meeting you ever. And I for sure won't let them go out to care for you at all. So you can forget being happy about me having a baby soon, because they are never going to meet you.
Never? You're saying I can't meet any of your kids in the future because I'm still single?
I feel that you are going to try and spoil my kids in order to get them to help you when you're old and helpless, right? Ha! In the future, you'll tell me that you took such great care of them and that's why you need their help or something like that. And then you'll force them to have to go to your side and hear out.
What the heck have you been going on about, Emma? I was actually pretty excited to hear about you having your first baby, but now that excitement has passed.
If you really want to be around my family in the near future, then hurry up and find yourself a husband, all right? Right now, you are far too old to still be living with Mom and Dad. And by this point, I'm pretty sure both Mom and Dad are getting tired of your crap there. Hey, Edith. Did you hear the news? Your little sister is pregnant.
Well, if that's what you just heard, I was told that by her an hour ago. But she ruined the mood for me really quickly. I was so excited to hear that she was going to have a baby, but that soon stopped after what she had to say.
What? What the hell happened between you both?
Even though she'll be having her baby, she said that a single woman like me will never get a chance to meet them. She thinks that I'll start to spoil them or something, all for the goal of getting them to care for me in my later years or something. And so she's never going to let her see a single woman as selfish as me. That's what she was going on about.
What? You're telling me that Emma said those horrible things to you?
I knew that she'd be back eventually and still make fun of me. She thinks that she's winning the game of life because she got married young and is having her first baby only a year later. And compared to her, I'm some kind of lost cause loser that still has to live with you and Dad still.
Edith, I'm so sorry about all of that. The fact that Emma turned out like this has to be because of your dad and I.
That's right. Both Dad and you always loved to be more caring for her and never bothered to show me that same affection. You guys never even acted like you cared about me, and everything had to be about Emma. And that's the reason why now even she feels as though it's okay to make fun of me and call me a loser.
That's not it at all, Edith. It wasn't that your dad and I didn't care about you. But, well, we were finally able to have another child, and she was our second daughter. And when she was really young, she'd always get sick, so we had to give her a lot more time than you. So because of that, it seemed as though we really spoiled her. Which we kind of did. But, of course, all of that is a bad excuse, right? I'm so sorry about everything, Edith.
At the time, I was a bit worried about what would happen to me, but I've managed on my own so that you don't have to be sorry anymore. But since you guys were the ones to make her this way, I'd like both Dad and you to be the ones to handle her now. Make sure to celebrate her first baby for me, okay?
Well, about her and that baby. Right now, I'm not really wanting to celebrate the fact that she's pregnant now.
What? You don't want to celebrate your #1 daughter being pregnant? What's gotten into you all of a sudden?
This all didn't start to happen overnight, okay? It's been ever since the day she got married that I started to think differently of her. A lot of things happened between us, and ever since her wedding, I haven't spoken much with her.
Is that right? I always thought you kind of slowed down with all the affection you'd been giving her after she married. What happened between the two of you that I'm not aware of?
Well, that's the thing. I'll have to tell you about it later. Just know that because of things, your dad and I aren't really too excited about her either. We'll celebrate her pregnancy a little bit, but besides that, we have no plans on doing anything with her.
I see. Well, she's got her own family now anyway, so that's probably the best option. I wouldn't want things to get worse around us because of her, so it's best to keep creating some distance one step at a time. Let's just be quiet when things come to her and hope that she has a safe pregnancy and childbirth.
I want you out of this house right now, Edith. Starting today, I'm going to be living here with Mom and Dad.
Huh? Emma?
I've been told it's your fault that I'm not able to come back to Mom and Dad's house to have my baby, and it's pissed me off big time. I'm not letting a woman in her 40s get in the way of me being able to stay with them any longer. I've already taken all your things and thrown them outside for you. Grab all those things soon and then get lost.
Can you slow down for 2 seconds? What do you mean you want to come back and have your baby at Mom and Dad's house? And also, why do I have to leave their house in order for you to do that?
All women go back to their hometown when having their baby, right? So I was thinking I'd go back home to their house and have my baby. However, both Mom and Dad have told me not to come back to their house. They told me I no longer have a room there and that I should just give up.
Really? You're telling me that Dad and Mom both told you no to coming back to the house to have your baby?
Yes! And when I tried to ask them why I didn't have a room there anymore, they didn't give me a single answer. That's why I decided that I'm going to have to force my way back in. If I've come all the way back to their house, they'll have no other choice but to let me stay, right?
What?
And when I came into the house, I saw something that I want an explanation for right now. It looks like you had all your things in my room and took it from me.
Well, you got married and no longer live in the house with us anymore, right? And when it comes to my job, the company said it was okay for me to start working remotely. Since that's something I've been looking forward to for a long time, I decided to use your room and turn it into my office.
And that's the reason why Mom was telling me I had no room here and said no to me coming home, right? The obvious reason for it is that you've taken my room, and so this is all your fault. I bet both Mom and Dad have been wanting their cute daughter back home as soon as possible.
What?
I want you out of there immediately. I have a very big baby in my belly right now and don't want to stress anymore about you being around me. I am back to have my baby here, and in order to do that safely, I need you gone.
The fact that you just barged into a house you were told not to come back to and then asked me to leave right away is pretty bold and terrible of you. I get it. I'll hand my office and everything back over to you while you're home. Then you won't have anything else to complain about, right? I'll give you back your old room, but I'm going to stay in the house as well.
Huh? That's only going to make me complain more. I have my husband here with me as well, and you expect the two of us to share one small room together the whole time?
What? You brought your husband along with you? Emma, you're telling me that you brought your husband, Ricky, back home to Mom and Dad's with you?
Oh, that's right. Without me around, Ricky would have a very hard time. He told me he'd get so lonely back home and wanted me to bring him along for the time I'm here. And that's why he's here with me.
That right there is a totally different situation for everyone then. Why did you even come back to Mom and Dad's if you planned to bring him with you?
Well, he happens to be very busy with work. So while he's gone during the daytime, who would take care of me? And when it comes to Ricky, he sucks at doing the chores. So that's why we've both come back to Mom and Dad's place. That way, we both can be cared for by Mom and Dad for the next month or two while we lay back and relax.
You and your husband, you both better not be under the assumption that you can make both Dad and Mom your housemaids.
Well, to me, both Mom and Dad are like my housemaids, and I'm going to use them as such. Ever since I was a little baby, they'd always spoil me and do anything I'd ask from them. Those two love taking care of me, so I'll let them do it again for another few months.
Are you sure?
But the fact that I just came back home and my room was taken over by you is unacceptable. So I want you to go home, grab all your things, and leave.
Asking me to do all of that right away is difficult for me. If you want something like that to happen, you needed to talk to me weeks in advance so I could prepare.
Shut the hell up, you single middle-aged loser! This is not even your house! So tell me why I have to talk with you about anything before I do it here?
Did you just call me a single middle-aged loser?
I sure did. All you are is a shut-in old freak. You are way too old now to not have yourself a husband. And now you want to live at Mom and Dad's for the rest of your life leeching off them. You are what the world likes to call a freeloading loser.
Hold up. I'm working a full-time job right now, so I'm not some shut-in. I also happen to pay for my right to still live in this house, so stop calling me a freeloader.
Hey, Edith. Normally people your age have started to live on their own and no longer need their mommy and daddy's help anymore. They end up getting married by your age and are out of the house into a place of their own. But since you haven't done any of that, you've stuck around and leeched off both Mom and Dad. It doesn't matter if you're working or not. You have not started to live on your own yet, and that makes you a shut-in. And a loser. You are an embarrassment to this family, and a single, no-good, middle-aged loser.
Excuse me?
The fact that you are still sitting in this house with both Mom and Dad means you have caused them more than enough problems. A freeloading shut-in like you needs to go. Both Mom and Dad want me home with them so that they can care for all my needs. There's no home for you anymore here. Huh? I'm asking you to please leave my house. Both myself and your dad do not even want to see your face anymore. You having the balls to force your way into our home after we told you no. Why are you such an awful daughter? Oh, wait a second, wait. Is this you, Mom? It is me. Today, Edith happens to have the day off work. So the three of us have been taking the day to go out and have some food and relax. And to think while we've been out enjoying ourselves, you and your husband would break and enter into our home. Break and enter. Why are you calling it that? Your cute daughter and her husband are giving you both the gift of having me home again. You want me to be home with you both in order to have my baby here, right? You had to cry and tell me no to that because of Edith, right? To us, you are no longer our cute daughter. You have already gone and burned through a lot of your own parents' savings without ever telling us. Your dad and I actually hate you a lot now. Just because we told you no does not give you the right to start blaming Edith for it. Huh? Why are you so surprised about this? You and that man of yours both went ahead and started to use up your dad's and my savings, right? I thought you would have been happy to see the two of us give you that wonderful wedding. But then after that, I seen you going through our account pulling money from it. After your wedding, both your dad and I went to the bank and took a good look through everything to see you and your husband using it all up. I guess I can see why you're shocked by all this, because not once did you ever tell your dad and I anything about how you used up our savings. Huh? Oh, wait a moment, Mom. I went ahead and apologized to you for all of that. You apologize? Was your apology that crappy little $10 present you got for us when you went on both of yours' honeymoon? And along with it, there was this note that said, sorry, and then LOL on it? You thought that crap was a good enough apology for what you did? Ever since you were a little baby, your dad and I have loved you and cared for you so much. And because you were always our favorite child, we wanted to give you a good wedding. We went ahead and gave you $30,000 to help out with paying for it and everything. But that wasn't enough from the both of us. Because both you and your husband went ahead and started to take more of our money without asking. Well, no matter how you think of it, at the time we had needed more money for things. I wanted to give you both the best wedding I could because I love you guys a lot, and so that's why I went ahead and spent a little more. My husband and I at the time didn't have a lot of money, right? And with that $30,000 you gave us, I couldn't make the wedding the best it could be. That's why I went ahead and took a little more from you.
You think you only took a little from me? You went and took another $80,000 from the two of us.
But both you and Dad said it yourselves. You said you were both looking forward to your cute daughter's wedding. So I wanted to give a very high-end and shiny wedding for everyone. That's why I just started to spend your money without really checking how much things were, to make it that beautiful. That was my way of being a good daughter to you both.
I have had enough of your freaking crap, you no-good, stupid little waste of our time. When both your dad and I took a look at how much you both took from us, our eyes were opened wide up. We happened to spoil you way too much, and because of that, we created the most ungrateful brat on this planet.
What do you mean ungrateful? You both were the ones that showed me so much of your love, right? Why are you giving me the cold shoulder now?
From now on, your dad and I are going to make things right. I want you to forget about your weak parents from before and start to take a good look at your new, strict parents. It might already be too late for us, but we are going to go back to basics with you and try to raise you properly.
But...
Listen, you. Why did you bring along your husband if he can't even do any chores in this house? Are you trying to tell me that he doesn't know how to live on his own? I like that you made fun of Edith for that when the man you married can't even be left alone.
But Mom, in exchange for that, he works really hard at his job.
Well, then, for us to allow you to stay at our place, we'd like you guys to pay $2,000 a month to us. You should be able to do that, right? He works so hard at his job, after all. Your dad and I will do the chores for you guys and take great care of you both. As long as we get a cut of that hard-earned money. You can do that for us, right?
You want $2,000? We have no way of paying you both that much.
But your sister is able to do it in order to live here, and she doesn't even need me to do her chores. That's the reason we're letting her live with us.
You're telling me Edith is able to pay that kind of money to stay with you guys?
She is actually really busy with her job all the time, but she still has the ability to do her own chores and cook for herself. However, I've been more than happy to help her out since she has a lot of work on her plate already. So in return for me doing some chores and a little bit of cooking for her, she now pays $2,000 a month to us. So, if you both really want to be living back in our house for the next few months that badly, then you can pay the same amount she is.
But that's...
But that's what? Tell me what you're going to complain about now, you ungrateful witch. Did you know that back when you had your wedding and got married, Edith left our house? She was gone for only a month when we asked her to come back and help us because you had used up all our money. She told us she was fine with that because she worried about the two of us. For a few months, she even paid us double what she pays now to try and get us some more money into our savings again.
What?
Throughout all her past, she had to watch as your dad and I only ever loved you. She had no need to care about us and could have said no with every right to do so. We did things to her that any person would hate us for. But your sister happens to have a heart and didn't want us to suffer because of you. She came to our pleas and made sure we were going to be okay. Hearing you want to kick someone like her out of the house like that is something I'm not going to allow.
Then what are we supposed to do? The both of us came all the way over here to live with you guys while I have my baby. Are you seriously going to make us do a 180 and go back home now?
Dang right I am. Go home right now, the both of you. If you both want to come live with us again, then you hand your dad and I that $80,000 you stole from us. Until you've done that, you are never allowed in our house again.
Are you kidding me?
We are on our way home now, so you have until we pull into that driveway to leave. If you don't, we are calling the police and telling them you broke and entered into our home and need to be taken away.
Hey, Edith! I haven't been able to talk with either Mom and Dad for the past 6 months. I told them that I had my baby and everything, thinking I'd get a response, but they didn't even say congrats or anything.
Even if they haven't spoken to you, they are happy to hear about the baby. They both said they're relieved to see that the baby was healthy.
Huh? Well, then why has neither of them said anything to me? If they are happy about my baby, why aren't they going to come over to my house and bring me presents? I was able to give birth to their cute little grandbaby.
Huh? You want presents for having a baby now?
I do. It's normal to send someone gifts after they've brought another member to the family, right? They gave me $30,000 for my wedding a year and a half ago. So for a cute little grandbaby, they should give us at least $50,000, right?
Not anymore. You're not getting a penny from those two ever again, actually. Did you forget that you and your crappy husband both used Dad and Mom's savings without asking? Dad told me that a portion of that can be considered your gift then for the baby.
What? But that's not good enough for me. Without any kind of money from them, how are we going to raise the baby?
Wait, what? Aren't you both supposed to raise and care for the baby? You have the income from Ricky, right?
When it comes to his income, he's only making around $1,500 a month, actually. There's no way we can raise a kid with that kind of money.
Ricky's only making that much? He's allowed you to be a housewife and everything with that kind of income? I assumed because of that he was making at least 3 times that amount.
We are only 25 years old right now. We have no way of making that kind of money at our age. Also, Ricky has a habit of changing jobs a lot, so he never is able to get any sort of raise.
Is that so?
That's why we've been hoping for some more money from Mom and Dad. We really do feel sorry for using up some of their savings during our wedding, but come on now. It's not like Mom and Dad haven't forgiven me already for that, right? And I thought that by having this grandbaby for them, I'd be able to get back on their good sides again. To hear that they won't give me any money.
My God, Emma. Was this the whole reason you planned on having a child in the first place?
But in the past, Mom and Dad always spoiled me with everything I wanted, right? They love caring for me all the time, and I thought they'd want to spoil me forever, and I thought that also meant they'd want to spoil both my baby and my husband as well.
Seriously?
But to hear they won't give me any money this time is not going to go over well with us. Please go tell Mom and Dad that I want to apologize again for using their savings. I've tried to apologize already over text, but they never reply to me. So please help be the middleman for us here.
Well, if you want, I can tell them since they're sitting right next to me. They're saying that you're in debt to them for $80,000, and they'll never forgive you until it's all paid back to them.
What?
You really thought that you could get Mom and Dad to start spoiling you again by having that baby? I'm sorry, but both Dad and Mom no longer care about you and would rather you learn to take care of yourself now.
But ever since I was a baby, they have loved me so much, and they always told me I was so cute and everything to them. And I wanted them to never get mad at me about anything, no matter what.
Well, it's time for you to become aware that your parents have changed now and are no longer going to let you take advantage of them like that. Now, I've had enough of this. I have to go on a business trip today.
Well, wait a second. Then at the very least, can you give us a gift? You have a cute little niece now. I'll even let you see her soon as long as you give me some money as a gift. You're already putting in $2,000 a month to live with Mom and Dad, so you can afford to give us $20,000, right?
What are you going on about now? You already told me that I'm never allowed to see your kids, right? And since I can't see them ever, why should I give you any gift?
Huh?
Now you and your husband get a grip and learn how to raise your daughter. Emma and her husband didn't even end up getting any gifts from their friends in the end for their new baby. Apparently, because of that really amazing wedding she gave everyone, she expected them all to give her lots of presents and money for it. They followed through with it, but because of that, a lot of them cut ties to Emma without ever telling her. So she didn't even know her friends all left her a year or so ago. Also, since she was a housewife before the baby, she had to quit that job and start looking for a job to make her baby more money. While Emma was doing all that, my parents thought they'd take one trip over to her place to check on how things were going. But when they arrived, she started crying for them to give her money. But instead of just leaving her there to struggle with her useless husband and newborn, they chose to stick closer by to them and make sure that at least the baby was taken care of. And my parents were only doing this because they felt responsible for raising their granddaughter's mother to become a spoiled monster, and didn't want the baby exposed to that.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.